Hello everyone. Welcome to Championship of Heroes, Event 2, Season 1. I'm your host today, Foolish Viceroy, and we got a good couple of games for you guys. We got a best of 3 for 2 different match groups. We have, in match group 1, Ray, Tony Montana, and Myron bruh. And in match group 2, we've got Reekley, Theodosios, and Alex Stan. So we got 6 players to hopefully be able to watch and cast all 6 of today. And we got a lot of good games coming for you guys. So hopefully the audio is coming in loud and clear. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. And we're going to get right into it in just a minute. As a reminder, everyone who was tuning in to the last event that we had, this is a best of 3 setup. So the first player to win 2 games wins the match. There's a couple of different phases involved. Players take turns banning one battle group from each other's faction. I think there's a total of 4 banned battle groups per player. Each player then selects 2 maps from the defined map pool and then bans 1 map alternately. Finally, each player bans 1 map from those selected by their opponent. So we got a lot of different vetoes going on. The player with the highest average elo gets to choose the map, and the player with the lowest average elo gets to choose the faction. Both players get play on the same selected map for games 1 and 2. For game 2, they swap factions and starting positions. And if it gets to game 3 for the best of 3, then the game 3 is played on the second map chosen during the draft. And the player who accumulated the most victory points in the first 2 games chooses their faction first. So we have a good set of rules, we got a good set of players, and we got a good set of games. So hopefully you guys are tuned in and ready for the matches to start. We're going to start with match group 2. Match group 2, we've got Reekley, Theodosios, and Alex Stan. So we're going to start with these players. And if we have time later on, I'll be able to hopefully cast match group 1. So sit tight for just a moment while I get the game started. All right, guys, here we go.
Starting construction on infantry will not be reinforced without your permission.
Starting over here on the east side of Road to Tunis, we've got Theodosios playing as the Vabox. And over here on the western side as the Western Forces, we've got Alex Stan playing as the British Forces.
Kettengrad reconnaissance vehicle available.
You see, what are we expecting? Seeing reversing Kettens. For those who don't know, reversing Kettens will reduce the audio of the truck. So we've got a little bit of sneaky play coming around here. And on Alex's side, we've got double Royal Engineers. So both players looking to maximize their capping potential. And there we go. Looks like Alex Stan has started to build his infantry section. Kind of an interesting choice, considering that the infantry section, is strong. But if you're playing against Ware, usually I wouldn't mind going for a Dingo. Dingo's usually a strong choice against Ware because, you get to bleed a lot of units and cause a lot of early game harassment. But it looks like Alex Stan has chosen instead to go for a little bit more of a safer route and go with his infantry sections. So, not a lot to see here at the start of the match. Both players doing their best to capitalize on map control here in the opening couple minutes. Here at Championship of Heroes and all other Company of Heroes 3 play, we are no stranger to Road to Tunis. All the high-level competitive players seem to adore and love this map.
mustered for battle.
Looks like Theodosius has decided to push ahead early. You know, gain control of the main center point in the middle of the map, this large building. Build some sandbags. He's getting real defensive. Now, if this were USF or DAC gameplay, we'd see a lot more aggression on these corner +10 fuels. But it looks like not a lot of aggression. In fact, Alex stand building an early mine as if anticipating any backline capping. So that could spell death for this Ketten over here. Decides to go for it. Well, first volleys of the match have started. Royal Engineers managed to cap the victory point before being forced off by the Grens. Will the Pyos get in the building here? Yes, they will. The Pyos push the infantry sections a little bit back, but decide to pull out of that fight. You know, even if you do have Pyos inside of a building over here, this is not a very favorable fight for the Pioneers. So not a bad call for Theodosius to sort of hide here and wait. Will he get spotted over here, hiding in the bushes? He will not. This high wall is very important for sight blocking.
Everybody still.
Ken not getting destroyed by a mine today, it seems. At least not yet. Very good call from Theodosius. He's using the enhanced vision on the Ketten to spot for his MG. So his MG instead of getting vision like right around here, we're here. He's going to get maximum vision. This is going to be perfect for his defense right here. He's playing very defensively. Look at that. Immediate suppression. Immediately forcing off two of Alex's troops, which is... okay, all three. Why not? So Alex just full committed to that push, and he just ran right into that MG, which is... A, this is bad for Alex because this is going to hurt his tempo, but B, this is really good for Theo because now he's able to push ahead and do what he wants, which is evidently capture this +10 fuel right outside of Alex's base. So this is a pretty bold push. Alex is probably going to look to do the same over here on the opposite side. Yep. Got a whole horde of grenadiers coming in to stop that cap, but he's not going to be able to push them back as fast as the Ketten was. Yep, there we go. These guys are going to be on retreat. Very doubtful that all three of these guys are going to make it all the way home safe. They got a lot of firepower coming in at him. Henry is down. George is down. And it's like Mike got away. He's heading right back home for a bite.
Fire incoming!
Well, Pioneers versus the infantry sections here. The Pioneers sort of taking on a scouting role over here. The amazing backwards Ketten going around, capping here in the south. It's only a matter of time if he rolls right into this +10. He's going to get turned into toast on wheels. Here we go. First upgrade for the infantry sections is here. The scoped rifles. This is going to help him spot out all the MGs here on the map. Spot out all the defensive positions that Theo is attempting to set up. Fast 221 is on the field. This is huge. No Humber or AT gun in build for Alex Dan, so he's not going to have an answer for this anytime soon. Maybe if he gets a lucky grenade off early, but Theo's a good player. I would expect him to sort of kite these units and get a lot of free kills. Already 4 kills on the scout car. Forced to retreat over here. Flamethrower.
Grab this weapon.
Grant's holding this building pretty well, but this 221 is going to apply a lot of pressure to units not in cover. We're out in the open over here. Ketten's laying down some sneaky mines here in the south. Maybe Theo hopes he can lay some traps for the eventual Humber to show. Here we go. Is this it? Is this Kablooey? No Kablooey. Very lucky for Theo, as the 221 manages to find more infantry sections and deal damage. Up, and he's got that one as well. Lucky break. Past the 6-minute mark, I think Theo's going to play a little bit more cautious with this 221. You never know when the Humber's going to get you, and you know, if you get the Panzer books on the 221, you can delete the Humber, but Ket eats the mine. That's a blow from Theo's capping power, but I don't think he minds too much now that he's got a new Jaeger on the field. Here we go. First Humber has hit the field. Now this Humber, it's sort of like a weird game of being a little bit too late for a unit that's supposed to get onto the field very early, right? So if he finds the 221 right now, happy days. But if this thing manages to upgrade the Panzer books, then 221's have to play very differently than it would have. There we go. By now he's definitely see the Humber with the flare. And now he's upgraded the Panzer books on the 221. So now this is going to be a game of cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry. And we'll have to see. Oh, he's still trying to get some value out of this 221 over here, depending on the plus 10 fuel.
We have a surplus of command points available. Rapid production protocols are in effect.
Pioneers ready.
We've locked in a battle group for Theo. We've got breakthrough battle group. It's a nice surprise. I haven't seen many players go for that lately. And he's got the fast production involved too. So this current build, I'd expect him to sort of rush a Warble.
We have finished the research.
Any minute now, he'd try to rush that out as soon as possible. And with no AT guns in the field, I think Alexand's going to have a very hard time dealing with these vehicles.
Sector overrun.
More sneaky mines. This is a good call from Alexand. 2 thumbs up.
They've seen us.
There we
Move.
go. Humber taking some
The
very
enemy has taken a victory point.
timid shots. I'm sure Alex is a little worried by now that the Humber is going to get deleted by the Humber deleter. And here we go. Panzer books rolling in, rolling out.
Grenade.
Rifle grenade goes off. Takes out a model of the Grens. The on-fields take out another. Yeah, the Grens do have the green cover here, but I don't know if they can hold this fight for long. Sections with the Bren upgrade join the buildings. 221 not having a lot to do right now, still looking for Humbers, but doesn't want to push in too deep lest he run into a mine or any sort of snare. There we go, Grant's forced to leave.
Don't get much closer than that.
Cover's good, but it's not that good, it seems.
Enemy infantry. Slices.
Smokes being shot at the large building here in the center. No breaching units right now for Theo, so this building being under control is going to be a huge issue for him, especially because he doesn't have any flamethrowers yet on any of his bios. There we go. Humber doing some more damage over here in the north, trying to dissuade these Jaegers from capturing the northern VP, but Jaegers hold strong. Panzer Books rolls in, a little too late. And here we go, we've got a paradrop. It looks like Alex has chosen Air and Sea.
Our arsenal has been expanded.
Okay. Surprise here, look at these. The Red Devils have entered North Africa. There we go, Flamethrower holds back the Jaegers just a little while longer. Paratroopers rolling in. Not having much to do over here. Now that the battle is already over. Decides to camo here in the corner. Get ready for an ambush.
Take his position. Fight.
Humber only has 2 kills so far. This thing is, it's come out too late. The Humber is sort of a weird vehicle where it's great if you can get it out early, but if you get it out late, you're just living in constant fear. It's like, it's no better than having a dingo at this point now. Meanwhile, Scout Card still has the 6 kills I got from earlier. Mando's doing the best to be a frontline unit, but currently not doing very well, losing already 2 of its models. Forced to retreat, that's going to be a very expensive reinforcement for this unit too.
Grenadiers under fire. Don't go.
Bren's still attempting to take on these infantry sections at max range. The Brens and the scope rifle is going to make it very difficult for these Brens to scale. Luckily, Theo has built a second Jaeger, so now we've got 2 Jaegers and 2 Grens on the field with the fast flak on the way. This should be enough to hold back the infantry. I think it was a big mistake of Alex to go for the commandos, where at this point he would probably want the AT gun. Now he's gonna figure out how badly he messed up as soon as his flak drilling, or I'm sorry, Whirlwind rolls onto the field.
Orders complete.
Here we go.
We're eager to get moving.
Whirlwind finds a target. Rolls through the ammo depot over here, making a big splash. Can he wipe the Royal Engineer? Probably not. He'll probably play it safe. Here we go. Theo moves in onto the victory point. Over here in the center, Commandos push in for another full frontal assault, but these guys, like I said, these units are more of ambush units. If you leave them out in the open like this, they're gonna, look at that, 2, 3 models down. These guys are really squishy. I think UKF Commandos are a little bit in a weird space right now, and not really well suited for taking on full frontal assaults like this. Horrible. Almost managed to wipe one of these units, but didn't want to push in for fear of mines or AT guns. So probably very conservative of Theo. So things are starting to look pretty strong for Theo. You look at the victory points right now. He's been able to maintain a pretty strong defensive hold at the top of mid. I haven't seen Theo put any of his units down here except for the Ken, and I think he's okay with not pushing south. As long as he holds center and top, like he's set, he's winning. First AT on the gun, manages to get a pretty good hit on the 221. Forced to roll out of there. The snare goes off on the Warble. AT gun may be able to get a shot off. The building is in its way. Emotional support Humber, rolling around, looking for targets. Still not finding any. There we go, the Jaegers, March of the Jaegers. One of the Grens, by the way, forgot to call this out. One of the Grens just got transfer ordered into a Jaeger. Very good call by Theo. Now we're starting to see a lot more Jaegers on the field, and these guys are going to self-spot for Theo's army. They're going to be able to see these AT guns. They're going to see these Humbers far off into the fog of war. So that's going to give the Whirlwind some extra breathing room, so it doesn't get any unnecessary surprises. But at this point, Theo's army is getting pretty well rounded, and Alex's army is still sort of playing catch up. He's going to pump the smoke on the commandos. He's not. I could have sworn the commandos had a smoke drop ability. They could use that there. Still Warble taking some shots. Miraculous rear hit, decides to back off. Look at this defensive play from Theo. He's managing to hold his victory point against all these rampaging infantry sections, and this the sandbag he built here at the start of the game has really been key to that. 50% damage reduction is no joke.
Infantry! Keep going! He's dead! He's dead!
We got more infantry sections shooting off their rifle nades, trying to get some wipes off on Theo, but Theo's a little bit too alert for that, and just dodge them. Looks like he's gonna run into this mine any second now.
We're here! Shoot back,
Ooh, he gets disabled by his Pioneer. Lucky break. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why you want minesweepers. Look at that. Now the 221 can roll in, take a shot at the Humber. Will he get another? Ooh, he gets the snare. Ooh, will the commando die? Ooh, that commando just bit the dust. That's a huge loss for Alex Stan. Maybe getting a little bit aggressive down here in the southern VP. Look at this. Theo's just been absolutely eviscerating Alex up here in the northern VP with brute force and Jaegers. Triple Jaegers. And I've been seeing this a lot too. Jaegers bunched up together like this, super strong. Super strong. They're able to take on a lot of different threats. They may not have grenades, they may not have Fausts, but they have the flares, they have the smokes, they have the range. honestly, that's going to be enough. Meanwhile, Alex Stan going for tier 4. He has enough fuel to get any kind of medium tank he wants. Will he get a Crusader? Will he get a Matilda? You know, honestly, a lot of good different options right now. The only AT on the field is this 221 and the Gren. So if he did get a Crusader, not the worst thing in the world, but Matilda also would be pretty formidable. There we go. Going back down to the south to reinforce. Not quite sure what Alex's plan is here. Maybe he's going to look to do a little push here in the soft underbelly of the center VP. There we go. Multi-unit push. Gren's are forced off. That takes off one AT unit. 221 lying in wait.
Enemy infantry! Return fire!
I'm surprised Alex hasn't gotten into this large building yet. More rifle nades.
Keep going! He's dead!
The Humber Deleter has found prey. Looks like he's gonna get the kill if he pushes hard enough. Oh, he got greedy. Oh, just a second earlier and he would have been Fausted, but luckily Theo gets away. Unsnared, undamaged.
Territory sector lost.
Both players having the presence of mind to get minesweepers is good because they've noticed that both of these, both of themselves have been putting mines everywhere. There we go. As mine goes off, case in point. Mines win game, folks. Mines win games.
Give us order!
Bold decap here of +10 outside of Alex's base.
Fuck, I'm hit!
He was really putting the hurt on. Let's take a look at the kills right now. 65 to 35 right now. Theo is absolutely destroying Alex's army. I think him losing that commando squad, which is like a 400 manpower unit, that was a pretty big hit to Alex's tempo. And here we go, first vehicle on the way.
Shock veterans have been relinquished
Crusader.
to us.
And in this case, I think, like I said, Crusader 2 is not a bad choice. No AT guns or no martyrs on the field. This thing's going to be able to reposition and be flexible. Because Jaeger's not going to be able to snare this thing, so this thing can just roll in and do all the damage it needs to. 2-1 looking for a shot. Oof, that's a dead Humber. There's no way that gets out. There we go, Humber's been deleted by the Humber Deleter 221. Hands of books is no joke. Now he's vet 3 too, which is not too bad, not too shabby. This Crusader's probably going to be able to pave a way for these infantry sections to roll in. Yep. Machine Gun Air Force to retreat. Stoss trooping doing a really good job of holding the center.
Report, the Allies have only 200
More mines
points.
going off here in the south. It's Mine Central over here, Mine City. Hopefully Alex realizes that by now and tries not to push too heavily with his Crusader. But it looks like he's got a second Crusader coming on the way, so I guess Crusader spam is the name of the game right now. Like I said before, there's not a lot of AT from Theo, so this, there's still a good chance that the Crusaders could probably roam in and make a really good flank. There we go. Crusader finds the Warble. Gets 2 shots off. 221 trying as fast as it can to get to the front. Oh, this is a deadly combo right here. We've got the Grens and the 221. Manages to get the Warble, but is he going to lose the Crusader? Most definitely. Second Crusader. Almost on the way to help out, but decides better of it. Alexander manages to lose an infantry section down here while he was distracted. That's a huge loss. He lost the Bren one, too. Huge loss. Quickly decides to replace it with yet another infantry section. I don't think Alex Stan's going to be building any more commandos. If he builds another commando before this game is over, I'll eat my hat. And he didn't choose the commando support section either. He chose the pack howitzer, so You know, if he has enough manpower to get a pack howitzer, more power to him. But at this point, right now, I think he's in desperation mode. With nearly double the infantry kills, Theo's just absolutely riding on Alex's army composition right now.
Don't stop for the dead.
So I'm going to try to do some damage on these Jaegers, but the damage reduction and the veterancy on these guys is going to make it really hard for him to pop a model off.
The enemy have taken our territory.
Go Jaegers pushing in, trying to defend. Machine Gewehr also rolling in. I bet it kills Theo to know that Brent is there and he can't pick it up with his Jaegers. Jaegers already have full weapon slots from the scoped rifles upgrade, so I'm sure at this point he's seen it. Yep, here we go. Grants are going to come down to try to requisition that Bren gun. Alex Dan making a couple of pushes on these victory points, but without a concentrated force, he's got nothing. There we go. Grant's picked up the Bren. Manages to get a model off with the rifle nade here in the center, but this is tough for Alex Dan. You can feel the desperation, like someone who's being drowned underwater, flailing their arms at their attacker. Like he's sending one unit at a time at each of these victory points, and at every single victory point, Theo has at least 2 or 3 units on defense. Look at this graveyard over here. See? He's got the Stoss and the Pio here in the north, Jaeger Pio here in the center, and the Jaeger and Gren over here in the south.
The enemy has 75 points left.
Extremely strong push. I think Alex needs to consolidate his forces and make a push at 1 VP. Just 1 if he wants to get one, but you know the triple cap is hurting him so bad right now. There we go, double Crusaders pushing in. There's no MGs over here, so he's got a pretty good chance of making this VP cap. There we go. Manages to get it. Pushes off a Jaeger here in the center, but is forced to retreat his own Royal Engineer. I want to remind viewers that there's only 1 AT unit on this field, and it's the 221 with the Panzerbucks, plus the Pals and the Gren. I really think these Crusaders could be doing a lot more. You focus down the Grand, focus down the 221, and then you've got absolutely nothing that can stop you.
The enemy is down to the last 25 points.
But why is he playing it so conservatively? At this point, he really needs to make something happen. Alex leaving his Crusaders in park over here, trying to plan his next move. I really think they should just run right at this 221. Look at this. This Vet 221 cannot stop a Crusader. He's really got to kill that thing. There we go. And he's forced back because of the Gren. Nope. He full sends it anyway.
We have lost control of a victory point.
He's hungry. He's hungry for the kill. He doesn't get it. He's forced to retreat back. Manages to get a good couple shots off the Crusader, though. Oh, backs up right into the mine. This is what I was worried about. The mines all the way down here. It's gonna be hell for Crusaders to push down here.
We have lost the scout car.
This is the 221. Go, last Crusader, making good on its promise to hold this northern VP. Infantry section getting pummeled by Alex's own base artillery. And the Stoss. Brutal. Oh my god, Theo got the Tiger out. I think that's all, folks. This Tiger's gonna roll in. There's not a dang thing Alex can do to stop it. I'll eat my hat. It looks like there's another commando squad. Alright. Not quite sure what this commando squad's gonna do in the last couple minutes, but I don't know, folks. I think even if he had built guards, it would have been a better pick than building commandos at this stage of the game. As soon as every model these guys lose is a huge dent in his wallet right now for Alex's manpower. Yep. Now Theo's pushing into the center here. Capturing all his victory points. Tiger of the Fatherland pushes in. He's gonna get a wipe if he manages to find those engineers preparing. Alex retreats his engineers just in time. The Tiger can just sort of roll in right now, nothing to stop it. And there we go. There's the GG. Well played. First victory goes to Theodosios. Well played by both players. Yeah, that was a pretty nuts match. Honestly, I think Theodosios knocked Alex Stan off balance right at the start of the game. You know, holding his ground, playing really defensively, surprisingly. And, you know, if you play defensively as where, you're going to be able to hold your ground. And, yeah, honestly, I think Alex Stan made a big mistake not going Dingo. I think a Dingo would have helped his chances of bleeding some early game units. But I can't understand why he went Commandos twice. I think Commandos once was a huge gamble, but going twice was sort of just throwing your cash down a hole, right? Like that was not the greatest idea in my opinion, but I think that was more of a desperation move than anything. But well played by both players. We got the second match for both of these players coming up in just a sec. Let me just switch back to the bracket. All right, so the first win of Alex Stan versus Theodosios goes to Theo. Next game is going to come up in just a second. Bear with me. Now, as promised, both players are going to rematch on the same map, but on opposite sides. So we're going to see how well Theo and Alex Stan do this time, now that both players know each other's strategies and general gist of things. All right, and we're back for game 2 of Theo versus Alex Stan. Here on the west side, we've got U.S. forces and armored battle group coming out of Theo. Very interesting. And over here on the east side, we've got Alex Stan playing as the Wehrmacht. Double Pio start, no Ketten.
Commander, barracks is ready for use.
Let's see if Alex can make a comeback. It's going to be very interesting.
Assault engineers are entering the field.
Assault engineers coming out of the base. This is very interesting. I haven't seen assault engineers in a hot minute, and a map like this, usually I think assault engineers fare better on maybe an urban map or a closer quarters map, but you know, I can't say that there's no value in assault engineers, because here, if since he's built barracks, if Theo decides to go an early Jeep, then he's going to be able to repair it pretty quickly with his assault engineers. Plus, with the flamethrower upgrade, he can sort of push the center house pretty well. So there's grounds for the assault engineers. I just I hope that he'll be able to get enough value out of them. Here we go. Rifleman coming out of the barracks. Grens coming out of the base for Alex Stan. Not much to see at the early stage of this map. You know, there's always going to be all the players capping around on the sides, and unless you're a really aggressive player, you're not going to see anything happen in the first minute or two. But It's interesting to see these players cap more. You know, their armies are coming together as we speak. More Grens coming out of the base. So this is a pretty standard wear build order right now. If Alex is smart, he's going to build either another Gren or another MG squad. And, you know, if he wants to rush a vehicle, he'll rush a vehicle. If not, he'll get officers' quarters. It's pretty standard. USF going another rifleman. I'm surprised he didn't go Jeep, honestly. With the engineer star, I think a Jeep would have helped him out. I think the center is where the action's about to start. Right here. Riflemen have found the Pyos. Pyos quickly get inside the largest building on the map. This building's a real pain in the butt for anyone who's played on this map before. Everyone knows it. Until you get breaching or mortars or anything else, you know, it's going to be a real pain to deal with. Even the Pyo can hold the ground for a decent amount of time. Not sure why Alex hopped out of it so quickly and then stood out there for so long, but able to get back to base without losing a single model. So this is good. He took mostly health damage. He didn't lose any models. And here we go. Like I said, we've got three Grens with the officers' quarters. So these guys are going to be able to get their healing. And if he transfers orders later, then he's going to get a lot of value out of that upgrade. So right now, these Grens are doing a pretty decent job of holding the line.
Move complete. Target secure. They're looking for targets in the open. Cover him. Rifles losing integrity.
Go.
Making their move.
Assault engineers with the flamethrower are able to do a lot of damage over here and automatically win this engagement. So yeah, I was a little skeptical of the assault engineers, but man, these guys really pulled through.
Taking hits. Stay low, guys.
All Gren's up here in big danger as the riflemen close in on him.
Bring up reserves.
Commander, starting ISC upgrades.
And he's forced to run home.
Get the wire out quick.
Reports of enemy movement near our victory
Theodosius getting pretty ballsy here, going for the +10 right outside Alex's base. It's sort of a
They've captured a victory point.
huge disrespect right here. Doing it right outside his base, forcing him to choose between his cutoff or his +10 adjacent to the base, and luckily Alex was able to respond and get his cutoff. So it didn't hurt him too bad, but look at his fuel income right now. +3. That's something you don't want to see at any point during the game. And he's on the wrong side of cover. He's not gapping it. Alex, man, what are you doing? Looks like he's locked in Terror Battle Group as well with the cloaked MGs. So we'll see what that's worth. They're not as strong as they were when they first came out, but you know, cloaked MGs can still get the ambush bonus. They're pretty nasty.
Fallen into enemy control.
Here we go. Machine Fair hopping inside the large building. He's going to be able to hold the center VP pretty comfortably for a long while. Yes, he has the assault engineers to worry about, but not really, because, you know, these guys can't really get a good approach on the machine gun. Brand's trying to find some way to damage the rifleman over here. He's got to blob him up to do any sort of damage against the rifleman. Rifleman and Gren damage going up here on the top. Rifleman pushing in to close the gap. Theo hoping to force a retreat. Both players end up retreating anyway.
Orders complete.
Bad. Excellent positioning from Alex, and he's able to hold back Theo's push, forcing 3 of his units to hold back. Io with the flamethrower, if he gets inside the building, he's going to do a lot of damage to the riflemen. Alex going for the +10 down here in the south. This is good, you know, he's got to get aggressive with the fuels. Especially because Theo was so aggressive on his, he's got to get in there and cause some damage of his own. Don't believe Theo's gotten any grenades yet, but if he did, it would have been great to breach or throw a grenade here when he saw the MG getting inside. Really aggressive push on the cutoff here from Alex Dan.
Stay low!
Our territory's cut off from supplies. Reconnect with it.
Theo throwing everything he has over here back onto the cutoff, but he immediately runs into machine gun fire. Cloaked MG doing some real damage. Oh, and look at this. Mortar pit going up from Theo. This is a really aggressive mortar pit position, if I do say so myself. I think it would be interesting to see how long he can hold this mortar pit, but it's sort of really forward. Yes, he can put units inside to hold it a little better, but this is pretty easy for AT guns to sort of just take a wall up at it and destroy it, so not too keen on the positioning here, but it's incredible that Theo's still unable to get his cutoff. We're seeing a lot of cutoff gameplay around here. I think Alex is firing on all cylinders. 2-2-1 finds the engineers.
God damn it! Taking the point here. I'm receiving enemy fire.
Mortar pit has been revealed. Look at this Greyhound rolling in thanks to the power of fast production. I think this is a perfect map for the Greyhound to shine, honestly. There's just enough... Oh, that's a mine up here in the north. There's just enough sight blockers and just enough room for the Greyhound to maneuver to be able to do damage and be a real threat right now. Alex is in big trouble because he's got no... Very lucky, very lucky. Greyhound whiffs a couple shots and the 2-2-1's able to escape. I think this is going to give Alex Dan some time to upgrade the Panzer books on his 2-2-1. And hopefully that'll be able to be enough to help him deal with the Greyhound, but right now he's playing a dangerous game.
Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
No vehicles in production either, so no Martyr, no Warble coming out anytime soon. Where is the Greyhound?
A victory point has fallen into
Took a
enemy
trip down
control.
south, and now he's coming back. Here we go, he's got the Panzer books.
Enemy activity
Big gun
near our
detected.
movement point.
So he's going to try to get a good angle on the Greyhound.
We have anti-tank crews reporting in.
Probably going to want to be a little cautious. Manages to get a shot off. That's usually the Greyhound's cue to back off. He doesn't need to destroy it, he just needs to keep it at bay. So he's got a pretty good angle right here on this side of the map. As soon as that AT gun comes up to the front, it's going to be a lot harder for Alex to hold this position.
Contact! Heavy MG!
Get a clear field.
Ground infantry!
There we go, more riflemen trying to decap the center here. This mortar pit already causing huge problems for Alex's defensive positions here with the MG, but he's trying to go ahead and push it right now. Managed to run into the Assault Engineers and the Greyhound. Still no bars on the Rifleman.
A victory point is under attack. We must act.
I think at this point it could go either way. Theo could either go more motor pool vehicles, or he could go into the bars.
Enemy control.
Personally, I think if he goes bars, it'll probably benefit him more at this point.
Taking losses!
Alex Dan's got a pretty strong composition. Like I said before, Jaegers are pretty meta right now. Jaegers are... Every game I've been watching, it's all Jaegers. Jaegers. Now we've got 3 Grens and a single Jaeger, so it's going to be a matter of time before these Grens start transferred into more Jaegers.
Rifles losing integrity!
The problem with the Jaegers is that they can't really deal with the vehicle pushes as soon as they get the scope rifles, so... This Greyhound still has time to make some value. Frankly, I don't know what Theo's waiting for. I think he should push. There's only one AT unit on the field, as usual. It's 2-2-1.
Location captured! Son of a bitch!
There we go. Theo gets the triple cap again, but Stan's got a pretty sizable army this time. He's able to get all the caps on the side.
Patch up the wounded.
Big push here in the center. Look at that. More fighting positions. Look at this. Double mortar pit. Okay.
Cover him!
Now this is interesting. Makes me question if the Whirlwind is the right call. Warble can, you know, do some good damage against all these infantry units, but is it going to be enough to deal with these pits and the Greyhound? But all in due time. Theo's got his bars, so he's able to roam around, blob up a little.
Strategic point is under attack.
We've already got one transfer squad of Jaegers, so this is looking pretty strong for Alex. You know, both players on pretty strong footing. This is Soul Engine. Wow, wait. This is sort of the spearhead of Theo's advances these days, is the Assault Engine. Very strong. Meanwhile, the mortar pit's doing infinite damage. Oof, big hit on the 221. I think there's a debate to be had whether the second Jaeger that Alex Stan built should have been a Shrek wielder instead of holding the rifles, but scope rifles are still very good. You can do a lot of damage against the rifleman. He also gets officers' quarters for the Luftwaffe building, so you know he got the instant vet one in all of these units as well.
Area is ours.
Task complete. Those guys.
Theo building another AT gun is very smart.
A victory point is under attack.
I'm sure at this point he's getting ready for any sort of large vehicle push. Honestly, I'm surprised Theo hasn't gotten the automatic vet 1 on his vehicles yet. Maybe he doesn't want to show his hand too early, but he does have the commander points for it, so. This MG taking a huge beating. That's a dead MG. Captain Artillery coming in right on top of the 42. Look at that. Managed to actually delete the recrew. Yeah, these double pits are strong. Very ambitious grenade, but doesn't find its target over here from Alex Stan. Grands are trying to push the double barred rifleman, but the flamethrower getting the majority of the damage. So he won that engagement. Very nice for Alex Stan.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
Greyhound finally at vet 1. This is going to be good.
The victory point has fallen into enemy control.
He only has 1 kill right now, but he's been doing a ton of damage with the Greyhound at least. But, unfortunately, only 1 kill.
All right, Private. That'll do.
Double pits are non-stop right now with this. I'm actually surprised he's able to get these pits up and not have Alex Stan immediately swarm them. I think it would be wise for Alex to sort of start focusing in on these pits and try to delete them. Because as soon as these things get vet 1, it's going to be a real issue. Because then, they'll get the air burst, they'll get the bunker buster barrage, anything that Theo so chooses.
Get us out of here!
And this is why this build is so smart for Theo, because he's been able to take advantage of the fact that Alex Stan doesn't have any available AT guns. I think AT guns, ironically, would have been the best thing for Alex right now, but because he went Luftwaffe, he went the Jaeger meta, he doesn't have AT guns. So the best he can do is maybe get a Martyr out, but even a Martyr's going to get annihilated by these AT guns and over here on the flanks. So right now, we're watching Alex in sort of a pickle. The kills initially in Alex's favor, but now they're starting to completely even out for both sides. So the real question is, what is Alex's next move? How can he deal with these pits?
They pushed us off a sector.
I think the answer is something Alex is struggling to find even for himself, because right now he's losing the entire north. Sort of struggling to do any meaningful damage against the Greyhound, because every time he hits it, he gets a huge shot from the AT gun. He's forced to back out, and then the you know, the engineers automatically repair that thing. Okay, look, at 5 CPs, I think Theo definitely should have vehicle training by now, but maybe he's too busy microing. He doesn't much care for the rest of his battle group, it seems. At least Alex stand makes sense, right? He's probably saving up for the King Tiger, maybe. He's probably stalling for that, but lately stalling is sort of a risky strategy. I would not recommend stalling. I would recommend building what you can, doing something with your tempo, because as soon as you start to stall your tech for a call-in, you know, you're going to start to suffer. Right? Like, at this point, it'd be great if you had martyrs or AT guns or anything. Right now, Alex's resources are just sort of going to waste. It's giving Theo plenty of time to sort of capitalize on the indecision, get Vet 1 on his pits. Like I said, Vet 1 on these pits is very nasty. Like, if he was able to push up with the flamethrower and actually do some damage on these pits, I think that would have been the ideal scenario, but I think right now Alex is too concerned about his flanks and the VPs, and once again we find him triple capped on all VPs. This is looking tough for him, but the double barred rifleman making it even harder.
Task completed. Ground infantry.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
See another Jaeger come out from Alex. Doesn't look to be a transfer order. Looks to be another new Jaeger. So now we've got 3 Jaegers and 2 Grens. It's 5 main lines running around. What's worse is this new Jaeger doesn't even have a Shrek, so he still doesn't have that AT capability that he needs to take out the pits. AT gun tries to take a shot at the 221, but manages to hit a bunch of rocks instead. He kicks rocks. There you go. Trying to cap, trying to get the cap. Very fast decap, actually. These Jaegers are getting annihilated by the rifleman. What's going on?
We have command points that need allocating.
Sneaky little decap from Alex. I'm surprised this spike is still alive, actually.
We must take it back.
Gameplay is sort of stalled right now. Both players sort of content with their current build and not wanting to go anything else. And here we go. Theo's finally realized he has CPs. Spends it all on recovery half track, EC8s, and the veteran C1 for all his vehicles. So Greyhound benefits, you know, even though it had Vet 1 already, it benefits from the increased veterancy gain. But I think at this point, Theo's probably going to look to, yeah, you can see he's already built tier 4, so he's going to look to expand his army with a bunch of EC8s. That's going to be a disaster for Alex if he doesn't get any martyrs or Shreks out in time. Look at that. Both mortar pits have Vet 1 now. I think this building is sort of like a red herring, right? You think you own this building, you own the map, but really, you know, look at that, and he said, no, I'm going to make my own buildings. I'm going to make my own anchor on this map. And he built those 2 pits, and he's been able to hold them surprisingly very well. Like, if Alex had made a concentrated push right through the center, I think he'd be able to finally assault these pits. But currently, he's too busy. He's too distracted by the Greyhound. And his 221 can barely do anything against either the Greyhound or the pits. Oof. Snare goes off on the... Snare goes off on the Ken. Explodes in a fiery ball of death. This building is like 1 shot away from being completely destroyed. There we go. Collapses, and lucky days, it turned into green cover. So players who walk into the rubble of this building can still use it for omnidirectional green cover, which is really nice. This Vet 2 for the Greyhound. Theo deciding he wants to build a 4th rifleman instead of a EC8. Said, why change what works? More riflemen, please. Oh, scammed. Alex tried to shoot the Faust off on the Greyhound. Doesn't manage to get off because Theo was able to back his Greyhound out just in time. Look at the victory point count now. Easy 8 coming out of the bill for Theo.
The victory point is under attack. We must
This is
act.
looking pretty disastrous for Alexstan. He's able to capture these points, but I think this, like I said, the stall to the King Tiger is really what's going to kill him.
Enemy control.
I did look at his resources. He's got 191 fuel. At this point, he could have had 2 martyrs, right? He could have gone Panzer Grenadier Company. He could have got the AT guns. He literally could have side-teched for that. But the stall right here is pure greed. And failing to punish these forward mortar pits in time is a huge disaster. Huge disaster. Look at that. Now the Easy is going to chase these Jaegers back to base. I'm willing to bet he'd be able to get a wipe here if he pushes hard enough. Gets the white phosphorus shot from the 221. He does not care. There's nothing to stop this Easy 8. There we go. Look at that. Now I realize it's the error of his way. He's building a desperation martyr, but I think at this point it's going to be way too late. See, it's practically doing a whole base inspection right now. And now Theo's in a very strong position once again. Holding the center, holding the bottom. He has 4 riflemen, sorry, and vehicle dominance to boot. With indirect, with AT. Right now, Alex is sort of starting to crumble. Theo manages to chuck a grenade at the forward MG. That 3 Gren is pretty good, but no match for double bars on double riflemen. Go that 1 martyr rolling in. Finally, we're starting to see some AT out of Alex. But is it enough? Is it too little, too late? I think so. I don't know. Martyr trying to get a better position. Trying to keep up with the 221. The might of the American Army right outside of Alexstan's doorstep right now. Jaegers and MG are going to be able to help him push back in, but the Easy 8's going to be running in to seal the deal. Look at that. Big shots. I think this Rebel could do a lot more damage up here. I think it needs to be doing a lot more. 221 bounced off the Easy 8. Oh, this is a dead 221. Yep. Stuck around for a second too long. Martyr still late to the party, not able to do anything. He wasn't even able to get a shot off with the Martyr, which is a huge shame. If he did the lockdown ability, you know, and like zeroed in his gun, he would have been able to range, because the lockdown Martyr actually has a ton of range. I think people forget how good of a range it has. Here we go, 1 big final desperation push coming from Alexstan. Jaeger supporting the flag reeling, or the horrible one, I keep calling it flag reeling. Another big push up here in the soft underbelly of the center part of this map. Will it be enough, or is it too little, too late? There we go, AT guns setting up the position. What happens to these AT guns will make or break this engagement. Look at that. Huge shots on the Martyr, dead Martyr. Martyr gets deleted. Easy 8 and Riflemen start pushing back into the center. Jaegers get assaulted by the double-barred Riflemen. And that's it. GG, well played.
The battle is ours, Commander. Taking losses! Leave him!
Oof. Brutal game for Alexstan. But well played by both sides. I think Alexstan made a big mistake that a lot of people make, and it's stalling for the King Tiger. Stalling for Tiger, stalling for King Tiger. You know, the stall only works if you're in a good position, but if you're on the back foot, the stall is not worth it. And you can see Alexstan, you know, he had a really good tempo. Surprisingly, his army value is still higher here on the ground. It's kind of funny. But yeah, you can see at a certain point in the game, he started losing all the control of his points, and he never really recovered from that because he was too busy stalling. Like, you should not get a martyr out by the time the Easy 8 comes out, right? By the time the Easy 8 comes out, you should have had 2 martyrs or something in the back line. But because he didn't have any AT except for the 221, he just got rolled over, which is a big shame. Plus the double barred rifleman and the pit. Yeah, it's just it was a tough fight for Alex, that's for sure. But well played by Theo. I'm gonna go back to the bracket now. Give me 1 second. All right, well, now we're back to the bracket. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes game 2 for Theo versus Alex. Stan, well played again by both players. The chart is not upgraded, or not updated, rather. But this is just to remind you guys who we're expecting to see play today. Just quick mic check, by the way. How's my audio coming in? It's not too loud, is it? Not too soft? All right, I'm getting word that the bracket is updated. All right, I'll update that right now on the stream in just a moment. And here's the updated bracket right now. So that's 2-0 Theodosios versus Alex Stan. Again, well played by both players, but looks like Theo was able to manage the win on that one. All right, folks, next game we have up on the bracket. We're going to continue our casting of match group 2. Next up will be Alex Stan against the next person in his match group, which is good old Reekley. So give me a moment to get that set up, and we will start that momentarily. This is exciting, guys. This is the last tournament before the next battle groups drop, so this is a really good chance to sort of see how the balance is and, you know, where the meta currently is before things get changed by 4 new battle groups. Which, of course, is always exciting for COH3. You know, we're always going to get something new to the game, and that's always going to change the meta, you know, in more ways than one. There's always going to be, you know, balance changes, meta changes. So, like I said, you know, it's interesting to see, you know, how these games go, and sad to see that it'll be the last time we'll see them be played like this without the threat of other new and exotic units like the Free French battle group. Thank you, good sir, for the follow. All right. Next game up, we've got Alex Stan versus Reekley. Coming to you right now. Low, back again for Alex Stan versus Reekley. Again, this is event 2 of Championship of Heroes, Heroes League. Caster is Foolish Viceroy here. Over here on the east side, we've got Reekley playing as the Deutsche Afrika Corps. On the west side, we've got Alex Stan playing as the British Forces. Today, we're back here on Taranto coastline. Look at that beautiful coastline. It's a pretty standard build at the start of this game. You know, both players maximizing their capping potential. We've got a double Royal Engineer start for Alex Stan, and a little Crash Schützen start for Reekley. Both players going to spend a lot of time capturing these +16s. The higher the value of the munitions point, the longer it takes to cap. So no big surprise there. Both players going to have to take a long time snaking their way up to the corners, capturing the +10 fuels. Alex Stan is the first to get to the fuel down here in the south, so he's going to start capping it pretty lickety-split.
Can we get back to work now?
Reekley doesn't know that. He drives his crad right in. Manages to back out just in time. Took a big wallop on that truck, though. About 50% of its health was taken out by that Royal Engineer, so he's going to repair that real quickly with his Panzergrenz. Very smart. Good move. Not wasting the auto repair ability in case he needs it later. It looks like we're going to start to see more Palmgrens coming out of Reekley's base. This is, you know, you want more Palmgrens. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see a third one come out after this, and then he can sort of dominate the ground with his forces. Ooh! And Alex puts a sneaky mine here. Reekley somehow sensing that a mine was planted here. He manages to drive around it and just sit on the edge of the capping circle. If he takes a wide turn, he's going to be in for a rude awakening, though, so hopefully pathfinding doesn't screw him. We're capping up here in the north. It's only a matter of time before these forces collide. Look at that. Pivot in place. I think he knows the mine is there.
Location secured.
And he captures the point and buzzes off. Well played by Reekley over there. Royal Engineer's going to have no problem going right back down to recap it again, but you know, this Royal Engineer is a key part of Alex's army. You know, these guys are heavy hitters, so without him in the center to help cap, then things are going to start to go a different way. There we go, first fight of the game. First volleys of main lines going on over here with the infantry sections, fighting the Palm Grenadiers up here at max range. Just a quick repair on the crad.
Enemy presence! We can't stay here!
We're playing from green cover, surprisingly. He's going to be able to hold this fight pretty well, but it looks like Alex Stan was able to get inside this building, which is usually a huge headache for whoever's playing on the east side of this map. This building is always one of the most consequential. He got out! Alex, what are you doing? You had him right there. If he had popped out and then popped back in at the last minute, that would have been maximum damage against these Panzer Pioneers, but now he's playing at maximum range and in green cover, so now he's going to take the maximum amount of damage, and I would be genuinely surprised if these Royal Engineers made it back home alive. Look at all it has to go through. This unit's dead in the water. There we go, Royal Engineer section killed. Well done by Reekley. Reekley going further ahead to capture the +10 over here in the corner. This is going to be really painful for Alex Stan because he's not going to get any of his major fuel income. I'm also surprised to see that Reekley didn't go third Panzer Grenadier. He went 250, so this is going to help push his units up on the front line and not take any losses on manpower. Plus the combined arms. Combined arms bonus. It's different, you know, the combined arms bonus used to be sort of like the main thing you needed in a stack to even be competitive, but now it's sort of like a cherry on top of the sundae. Now they more of a speed boost than anything, than a damage boost. Brad running right into the Royal Engineers. Ooh. Reekley loses it. Really good flank from Alex Stan, but he's going to probably have to get out of there before the 250 finds him. Go, 250 finds him. If I were Reekley, I'd feel pretty in need of vengeance right now, so he's going to chase these guys all the way back home. Yeah, let's see if he takes out one or two models. Rifleman Rifle grenades going off willy-nilly here. Ooh. Another grenade right on Alex Dan. Wow, I'm surprised. He didn't lose a single model from that chase. These Pioneers doing their best to sort of punish this retreat path, but I think Reekley has the worst. He's the worst marksman in the entire Twich Africa Corps here. They weren't able to kill any of the models, which is pretty unfortunate for him. But look at this aggression. He's managed to cut off almost all of Alex's fuel. Luckily, Alex still has his +5 fuel, but Reekley said, you know what? If you want that +5 fuel, it's yours. But that's all you get. And he's gone ahead and captured everything else on the map except for this other base adjacent +5. So right now, Reekley's feeling mighty powerful right now. Look at that. He's got 10 more kills than Alex does.
It's secure, Commandant. We've got
reporting in.
through here.
Territory sector out
We got a
of
call-in
contact.
coming in. We've got the Panzerjägers coming in on a 250, and Blackbeardling also in build.
Rear-mounted flag truck has arrived.
Reekley's got Italian infantry, so this is going to be strong for him. He's got the, he's probably going to get a Cannone to finish things out if he's a real jerk about it. Alex Dan, meanwhile, has gone Polish battle group. Picked Vengeance for his units. You know, Vengeance is not bad. Vengeance is actually one of the strongest abilities in the battle group because it allows you to get munitions from every model that you manage to kill. Right now, things are looking pretty dire. Reekley's got his mechanized units all up in tow. Manages to hit a mine, but he's repairing it right now. I guess he forgot about it.
Victory point lost.
And now this is another instance of Alex Dan having an army, but not having Humber in time to really do anything with it. Only now he's building his platoon command post, and there's no way in hell a Humber is going to survive this current climate. So all these engineers are going to have to retreat back to base, taking a lot of damage on retreat. Very unfortunate.
Moving on. Italian Guastatori have been transferred to us.
Resources liberated. No contact.
He's surprised, but I wouldn't completely discount the idea of Reekley going for the 250 half-track upgrades, because then he can get the 259s and really seal the deal with the, you know, the double 250s plus the flak relay. Look at that cheeky little rifle made on the 250. He almost got a Reekley too. My God. Trail of blood. George wasn't able to make it to the loo in time. Very sad. There we go, flag reeling. Getting assaulted by the boys AT. This is sort of a desperation upgrade in my opinion. Maybe not bad against the fact that there's so many vehicles on the field right now, but really can't spare to waste his units. He needs all the DPS he can get. And I think every minute, every second that goes by where Alex doesn't have his own +10 is a disaster. Just mounting. Like, these units come onto the field and they just take loss after loss. Like, he needs AT to push up on the field. Now, the AT gun here, this is a good call. This is going to be good to push up, but like, if it gets outflanked by these mechanized units, he's screwed. Like this only furthers my point right here, right? Like the Guastas right here, these guys are tanks. These guys are Terminators. The boys aren't going to do anything against those guys, and there's no vehicle that's on the field to punish them. So now Reekley's fulfilling his promise of getting all the fuel from Alex Dan. He's getting this +5 right outside his base. Reekley said, "You want the +5? The +5 is all you get."
Engage all targets.
Go. Panzerjägers trying to hold back the British Army. They don't really need to, honestly. He's just stalling right now while he prepares all his vehicles. Doesn't look like Reekley's going to go to 259s. I think he doesn't think it's necessary at this point, which I wouldn't blame him. There we go, AT gun set up. This is good. Ooh, look at that range! Firing on a hill. It's a target-rich environment for this AT gun, very well done, but he's got no Vickers to suppress the Colossus. He's gonna have to bring that thing back home before he loses it.
Enemy points at 300 and dropping.
My, oh my, look at Rico's fuel. 43 fuel per minute versus Alex's 8. This is a disaster.
Retreat! Cut the bastards down! Territory captured! Let them come! Ground is ours! Want us to regain?
Our victory point is being neutralized by the enemy.
Very brutal, very brutal. I don't know what to say, to be honest. Right now, Alex is desperately trying to claw his way outside the base, but, you know, look at that smoke. The defensive smoke applied by Rico. He's going to be able to hold his point, and if he wants to, he can call in the sector artillery right here and hold his point even longer. Look at that. These guys are just going to tear Alex up. 250s rolling around. These 250s still have a place. I think if Ripley still gets the half-track upgrades, he can still get mortar half-tracks or the 250s. Good shot from the boys. We got some poles on the field. Okay, very interesting. Are these poles going to be enough to deal with the Colossus? I don't think so. Colossus have a lot of damage reduction and a lot of health. You can just walk right up to the poles and just crisp them immediately. Gone from resistance fighters to burnt sausages. Here we go. Big grenade. And this, I do not envy this infantry section. Look at that, Ripley just posted up all his units right outside of the 250 right here. Oh no, this is a dead infantry section. Oh, it's a massacre. Alex Stan losing his only AT.
It appears
There
the
we
enemy
go.
has lost the will to fight.
Well played by Ripley, well played by Alex Stan, but I think Ripley completely annihilated Alex in terms of tempo and, you know, getting all those vehicles out and the Colossus out pretty much sealed the deal. Like, Alex wasn't able to push back at all once he lost his plus 10 fuel, and that's a heavy blow, especially on Taranto coastline. All right, I'm gonna pull up the next game between these two guys. Just give me a moment. You guys can look at the bracket. And we're back for game 2 of Ripley versus Alex Stan. Over here on the east side of Taranto coastline, we've got Alex Stan as the DAC and Ripley as British forces. So again, as a reminder to those just tuning in, the rules of the best of 3 are you, on the second game, you replay the same map and you switch sides.
What needs doing?
So it looks like both players have basically taken on each other's roles as British forces and Deutsche Afrika Korps. And quite frankly, the build's looking pretty dang similar. If not exactly the same, but the capping order is really what differs right here. You see Wrigley, you know, there's only so much you can do with the British capping curve, if I'm going to be honest. Like, you really need the double Royal Engineers to really get that capping potential. So, not much to see here. But instead, Alex Stan decides to send his Panzer Pios over here in the south, and his Ken up north. So we'll see how well it does. Look at that fancy new skin. Is that the new Desert Cat skin for the deck? Very nice, very fashionable.
Got wireless time.
Looks like this time Alex is the first to get to the fuel down here. He's usually pretty good at that, it seems. Is he going to be able to hold off the Royal Engineers, though?
He's found Jerry. He's none too pleased.
Looks like he is. Royal Engineers are going to ignore it, it seems. I thought he was going to go inside this red building, but instead he decides to go for the victory point instead.
Move round the others. Got orders, lads.
Pretty standard build order coming out of Wrigley. You know, this is pretty standard to see at the Brits.
Jerry's his arse.
No dingo.
Can we blow it up now?
I think that's the only real change in things, but 2 more infantry sections.
They've opened
Pretty
fire
standard.
on us.
I think Wrigley also realizes his Royal Engineer is not going to take favorable engagements at range against the Panzer Pios, so he doesn't want to risk it. He doesn't want to lose unnecessary manpower, so he retreats.
Victory point lost. The enemy has control.
Tries to build a mine here,
Where the fuck did they come from?
but he gets caught, so he's forced to put those mines back in his pocket.
Fire the fucking stay. Now.
Alex Stan trying to be very aggressive. It's almost like he's copying Wrigley's build with the 250 and the Ken. It's like he remembered what bothered him the most about Wrigley's build, and he decided to do the same thing on his own. He was like, okay, it's easy. I'll do it. I'll do the same thing. No Palm Grenadier though. No Panzer Gren. Which is a major shakeup from this build. Looks like he's going quick tech into assault. Assault guns? It'll be interesting if he can pull that off, but the assault guns have, in my head, sort of fallen off a bit lately. I mean, don't get me wrong, assault grants were really strong with the assault disembark, but right now they've got a long way to go before they get that one. So if he can close the distance, you know, get that one with these guys, then maybe he's got a fighting chance with them, but I don't know if they're a good replacement for Palm Grenadiers at this stage of the game, especially since Palm Grenadiers are so strong. Here we go. Flamethrower here decides who wins this fight.
Commander, rifle sections have been granted grenades as requested.
We're getting pretty aggressive on the fuel. Luckily, Alex Stan's got a Crad over here on the +10 as well, but this thing is in the danger zone. Gonna have to get out of there. Oh my goodness, look at the damage that 250 is taking. Okay, these guys had assault disembark. This could go completely different, but right now, look at that. Look at that. With the assault disembark, that guy would have been able to take on all 3, but now he got deleted. This 250's backed up into a corner.
Cover his position.
Gets turned into junk. Really good push from Wrigley. Very aggressive. He managed to take on that 250. He didn't need boys. He didn't need AT. He didn't need any snares either. Just backed it up into a corner.
Damnation! The sector's in enemy
It's also
hands.
unfortunate positioning by Alex Stan, but you know, at the end of the day, it's Wrigley who killed it. Alex Stan's Crad's doing pretty well for itself as well. Managing to get some cheeky caps.
Infantry on the offensive shall
This
be
is still
encouraged
quite
to
unfortunate
persevere.
because we're starting to see a repeat of the last game where Alex Stan is slowly teching up. He's slowly trying to do something, but right now Wrigley controls his fuel again.
Mine's late.
And without fuel, you get nothing on this game.
The sector is in enemy control.
Landmines.
Our supply lines broken.
Here we go.
We have sectors
Two
isolated
sections
out there.
trying to fight the assault grens, but the assault grens run right into a pinch right here from the Royal Engineers and the other infantry section. Oh, disgusting. And he got the Canadian heal. Oh! Almost a really lucky rifle nade there, but now Wrigley's infantry sections are going to get the healing in combat. Looks pretty yucky, pretty strong.
Take cover!
This Prad's in the death position right here. There's no way this gets out. Magical snare, finds it, deletes it, crushes it.
There he's done for!
And Wrigley's army's going to keep marching on forward. Is he in range of a snare?
Armored car, ready for reconnaissance.
Wrigley not having to do much except hold back Alex from getting his plus 10. Snap is pretty egregious for that. Now we've got an early Humber.
Squad ahead! Get down, lad! He's dead!
I think by 6 minutes. There we go. Panzerjäger calling. These guys need to come in and get something done with this Humber, but they're gonna have a little bit of a pathfinding snafu. I don't think they're gonna get there in time. Oh, Humber deletes the 250. The Jaegers get there in time. Pathfinding sort of prevents it from happening. This is a really unfavorable position for Alex Stan, but this is sort of a desperation cap because he needs to decap this fuel, if not capture it. And, wow, where are these mines coming from? You laid that many mines? Oof, and here we go. Panzer Pioneer Spod has been killed.
Incendiary weapons have been rolled out to our infantry.
Well done! Now what?
Canadian shock infantry have been assigned to our sector.
Boys!
Canadian shock infantry coming on the field. Not that Wrigley really needed it. Completely outnumbering Alex Stan's army, 2-1. Kills surprisingly pretty even. For infantry kills. But vehicle kills. Oof.
We found
Ay, caramba.
What a beauty! Under enemy fire, yeah?
It's amazing what the same tool set but different uses can still do in code here. I think I see a lot of people talking about how, you know, only what you build matters, nothing else matters. But you look at what Wrigley built, it's exactly the same as what Alex Stan built, but he's able to execute it so much more because of his aggression and his ability to keep his units together, maximum effect. And this is why he's winning all of these engagements. It doesn't help that Alex Stan didn't go Assault Grenadiers, or he didn't go Palm Grenadiers. You know, you want mainlines in stack, like, especially right now because they're so good. You got 8 red on the field. I like the 8 red. 8 red's decent, but it's gonna get collapsed on right now with snares. AT gun coming out of Wrigley's base. Kind of unfortunate. This 8 red's not really it's not really able to do much against these guys in green cover. So he's just got to keep kiting it, using it at max range. Wrigley capping outside Alex's base. This is more of a learning opportunity, guys. If you watch this, this is what not to do when you play as DAC. Just over rely on vehicles.
The enemy has 300 points remaining.
Also unfortunate for Alex Stan that he went Assault Gren, honestly, because like I said, this would have been so strong a couple patches ago, but now it's like, okay. Now he has the Assault Disembark, so, you know, maybe we'll see something. But...
The enemy has pushed us back from our sector.
These infantry sections are definitely going to have to leave. I don't think they can take on this fight. There you go. Forced to run through their own barrage. Through the 8 red. Okay. Okay, alright.
We've lost communication with one of our
Look at that.
squads.
Alex was able to wipe one of Wrigley's infantry sections. I think Wrigley
150 points left.
just built a fresh one, anticipating the loss. Hitting a lot of mines over here. I think if Wrigley just moved his Humber right over here, he'd be able to get enough shots off to kill the 8-Rad.
We're
I think
under
the Humber
fire!
does a surprising amount
What
of
cover you
damage
got?
to the 8-Rad. Unfortunately, he doesn't see it, so the 8-Rad is able to get repaired, albeit very slowly.
Run. The enemy has it.
Work done. Now what? Ammo! Who's got the mark? We need to reload! Open it.
The beggars are threatening a victory point.
And the engine crit's still not repaired. Oh, this is disastrous. Get out of there, Alex.
Taking off this!
Victory point is in enemy hands.
Oh my goodness, he was able to get the snare off at that range.
We're losing a victory point to enemy
That's
action.
crazy.
Just shoot the bugger!
What's crazy is Alex Dan has enough CPs for like a flame panzer column, but without any fuel, there's nothing he can do right now. It's just sort of meeting the wall of Weekly. You've seen Weekly play Weekly style, which is hyper aggressive to great effect.
Grant tanks shortly.
Lucky Humber. Wow, going straight for Grants.
Enemy ground forces have claimed a sector.
Now what?
I think if this were a different player in a different game, you know, people would usually stall for the crocodile. But, you know, because Reekley's so far ahead, he said, I'm not going to waste any of this momentum. I'm going straight for Grants. And that's usually what you would want to do, right? Stalling is sort of a winner's game. You know, Assault and Grenadier just got deleted by the Canadians of the sections. These 250s are not invincible. I don't know why Alex is sort of running them into infantry squads, but that's just unnecessary losses. Forced to run home. Canadians are pretty beefy, especially with the in-combat healing, so yeah, I don't think these Assault Grens really had a chance.
We've lost.
He's going all Assault Grens. All Assault Grens. Why? Why, Alex? Why? Got another call-in of Assault Grens. This one's gonna get deleted in base. This is just unfortunate to see, unfortunate to watch. I definitely don't think these Assault Grens were the right choice at all. A desperation grenade. I know. We see Assault Grenadiers in their prime, right? Going up against a unit in green cover. Intersections healing. Humpers providing supporting damage. And even in a prime environment, the Assault Grenadier was not able to survive. Because the Humber. Look at that, he's going to lose yet another.
A victory point is being overrun. The enemy has taken
Jaegers are
our
trying to find a target on the Humber, but they're going to get snared. Grant is in the build.
We're losing a fuel point.
I didn't think that game was going to get anywhere after the third Assault Grenadier loss. No offense, Alex, but yeah, that was pretty rough. Oof. But, of course, you know, flowers to Reekley for that hyper-aggressive playstyle. He's able to capture the fuel points both times. And, you know, sometimes your aggression can be really favorable. You gotta keep your units together in a tactical blob formation and get the higher value resources. So well played to Reekley. Well played to Alex. You had a good couple games, Alex, but looks like Reekley takes that one. So it looks like the next couple games we're going to be watching are Reekley versus Theodosios. So we'll be back in a minute and we'll be watching those two duke it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Shortly, in a moment, we're going to be seeing Theodosios go up against Reekley. This is, again, best of 3, and this is going to determine who wins match group 2. So these are going to be some really intense games, hopefully, and we're going to see some of the finest gameplay that COH3 can offer. So hopefully, it's good gameplay. Just as a reminder, these players are going to be playing on a map. Second game is going to be the same map, but reverse sides. And the third game, if there is a third game, will be on another map. So, without further ado, time to see the next game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on the fabulous Twin Beaches. Over here in the north side, we've got Reekley playing as the Deutsche Afrika Corps. And here in the south, we've got Theodosios as the U.S. Forces. Now, this is a pretty classic COH3 map. This is a map that's been in the, it's been in the pool since the game first launched, and it's gone through a lot of visual changes to a degree. It's very pretty, and it's also very wide. It's a very large map, so we're going to start to see players try to leverage the units best suited for capping around this large map. So for Theo, we're going to see, looks like early Pathfinders as part of the Airborne Battle Group. And for Reekley, we're going to see a Crad. It's not even a question. Of course, you're going to see a Crad at a deck if you want to see capping.
Location
No unit like it. This is better than the Ket, because at least the Crad can support units, it can cap, do a lot of different things.
Orders incoming.
The aggressive Palm Grenadier start, building a second Panzerpio, which is very interesting. I think this is indicative of Reekley seeing if he can manage a 250 strat later on down the line, but I don't know. I'm surprised to see the Panzerpio instead of a Palmgren, if I'm going to be honest.
Demolition, repairs, a bit of both.
Both players a little worried about tackling this hill over here in the center.
My men have secured the location.
This center is usually the most painful part of the map. It's either make or break for your entire army, so both players don't want to commit to it unless they know they can win that fight. So currently they're both capping around it, getting these +16s. It's pretty smart. Gotta give players credit for knowing what the priorities are. There you go, first firefight goes right here. Riflemen and Palmgrens exchanging blows. Pulling his Palmgrens back a bit, trying to see if he can get this cap first, and then push all his units in at once, probably. But looks like Theo's ready for that with the second Rifleman in tow.
Half-track has arrived.
Pathfinder's sort of harassing these Panzerpios, but without a fourth man, they're not going to win that fight very well. Here we go, Riflemen doing what they do best, doing an allied assault. 250 comes in just in time. Crad coming in to support, firing right behind the Rifleman. Oh man, this is a disastrous pinch. Well played by Reekley. These Riflemen are forced to run back home. Theo begrudgingly teching grenades for his Riflemen to see if he can sort of snare this 250 or the Crad later on. He's stringing the 250 along. Wants to see if he can bait him. Here we go, and he manages to get the snare off. Well done. Well played by Theo. He's got no follow-up for it, though, I don't think, so he's not going to be able to do anything else. And I'm not quite sure that was the best decision, especially if he can't really follow up on it, because now the only thing that's going to happen is Reekley's just going to prepare it lickety-split, and now Reekley knows that Theo has grenades, so I don't know if that really accomplished much that Theo was hoping it would. But now it looks like Reekley's gone and locked in Panzerjäger Command Battle. So he's going to be able to put a lot of those pesky little mines around. if he so chooses. He doesn't necessarily have to, but honestly, it's a better pick than tank traps most of the time.
Research complete. Superior support weapons
Look at
are
this.
available.
Very aggressive 250.
Mine's under fire! What could go wrong?
Now, for players who play at a lower bracket, you may be confused as to why Theo went Rifleman instead of going with
Panzerjäger now has access to
paratroopers. You know,
advanced
you think,
tank
oh well,
equipment.
if I'm going an airborne battle group, I'm going to go paratroopers, right? But no, Riflemen are a little bit more versatile. They have the bars, they have the grenades, and typically that versatility is way better than the paratroopers, especially because the paratroopers' DPS is not that good, honestly. I feel like the paratroopers have fallen off very severely due to lack of changes to them in the last couple of updates. So, you know, if you have to pick, really, it's going to be Riflemen all the way. These Riflemen are going to be very aggressive, push up against the Panzer Bios, force them to retreat.
Victory point.
And it looks like Theo's going to have enough leverage to get this hill back in time. Panzer
The enemy has
Bios
taken a victory point.
off the field, but Panzer Grens fighting against the Pathfinders.
My men have smashed the sector!
These guys are upgraded. Maybe you could get a cheeky rifle nade.
We're veterans now!
We've done what we can.
Lots of cheeky capping going on. Theo going for the beach fuel. This is a really good pressure point to go for. It's going to force Reekley to divert his forces all the way down here in the south and allow Theo to push all the way up here in the north. Riflemen retreat before they take any significant damage, but they do get the decap, so that does hurt his tempo. Look at Reekley down to 13 fuel and come off. Theo's at 29. This is actually really good for Theo. Theo appears to have locked in infantry support center. So he's going to get those infantry upgrades. And he's getting mortar pool. This is a pretty tried and true US build, going triple rifles into mortar pool. So he's going to get an early Greyhound. Not bad.
I hope they didn't hit something in front!
Rifle. Going to be able to do a lot of damage to Crad. Crad's going to back out of there. Now, Reekley was able to get a flak relay point, which is good for him, because now he's able to hold back the rifleman blobs. The Greyhound is going to be decent. I see a lot of people skip motor pool if they go airborne, because they can get the US half tracks, the GMCs, you know, all sorts of stuff. But looks like Theo believes in the Greyhound, he believes in the motor pool. Let's see if he's rewarded for his faith.
Dismount, grab your gear.
Pioneers under fire!
Ammunition point is being neutralized by the enemy.
There you go, big fight here in the center. Honestly, an AT gun right about now would be great, because then you could just hold this corridor instead of the 250 bullying you. And here we go, Greyhound in build over here at the motor pool of Theo's base. Some good side capping with his Pathfinders, 2 thumbs up. Assault Grenadiers rolling into the front. Surprisingly, able to push ahead and win that fight, especially with the support of the flag relay. The only thing lacking in Reekley's army is the Panzer Wings. The AT gun is actually really good, but the Panzerjäger sort of sealed the deal. So as soon as that Greyhound gets up on the field, this is the one thing that Theo needs to look out for. But if he's able to deal with it, then he's able to, you know, it's smooth sailing for him, figuratively.
Minefield completed.
Look
Now
at
we
this.
wait.
Reekley's laying down a ton of mines over here on the flank, so even if that Greyhound does push out pretty aggressively, it's in really risky territory. Ooh, look at that. Immediate snipe from the Greyhound, well played. Black Dreeling in a pretty safe position, able to suppress the Pathfinders. Reekley putting a lot of mines down. Listen, you gotta give Reekley credit, right? He's been putting all these mines down, and he still has about like 150, 120 munitions, which is great for him because he can keep laying those mines over and over again And, you know, he's going to go fishing. He's going to hope that the Greyhound gets greedy, tries to flank, and then hits a mine. And then if it does, that AT gun's going to be the first thing to find it. There we go. Shot number 1 on the Greyhound. Second shot's going to connect. Oh, it doesn't. Hits the hill. Very lucky, very lucky. We're side capping on the side.
It's secure, Commandant. All done here.
Unfortunately, there's no engineer for Theo. He's got no engineer with no sweeper, so these mines are unknown to him. That's going to be a huge loss if he drives that Greyhound up. Ooh, the captain looks like it's going to go down.
Enemy infantry
Yep.
down.
Ooh. Sort of an interesting situation. Assault Bren's with the M1919. Sort of a weird hybrid squad now, but still pretty lethal. Almost as if Theo could hear me. He's got the Minesweeper, or rather the engineer with soon-to-be Minesweepers.
He stands.
Trenchman tactics tell encourage our men to fight our line cover.
Very aggressive Greyhound. Theo's very lucky he hasn't hit any of Reekley's mines yet because there's so many of them. Is this a mine? It's like a mine. There are mines at every corridor and every corner of this area. And if Theo gets even an inch of greed, he's going to get punished. Go, very bold call in from Reekley. We got the leak. Or not even a call in. Did he build that? He built that.
Near our munitions point.
So that's pretty nasty. That league is going to really apply a lot of pressure to Theo. This is almost like that other game where there was a bunch of motor pool, or motor pits. If you don't punish the indirects, the indirect will punish you. Here we go. AT gun finds the target. Manages to get that second shot off. Wow, look at the range. Rifleman coming in. Ready for the breach. Very nice. He pulls off the breach, but the flamethrower is going to make sure he doesn't stay there for too long.
We're engaged. Infantry.
Pathfinders are a good pick, because especially in this corner, like, you're going to get 1v1s against the Crad, and if you lose those 1v1s, it's going to hurt your tempo. So he's winning these 1v1s against the Crad with the Pathfinders, and that's going to allow him to keep pushing up and capture the beach, which is great. Not that Theo needs the beach that much. Hits the mine with his rifleman. This is good, but now the Greyhound can push up a little bit more. Ooh, big shots on the Panzer Pios. He could have chased that. Got an AT gun from Theo now pulling up to the front. This is going to be good to hold up against the flag relay. But like I said, this league is going to be a huge issue. Leagues have incredible range, so holding it in the back line over there is really going to kill Theo's tempo. Double bar riflemen pushing up, but they're going to get annihilated by the assault friends. The captain's LMG. Oh man. What a hold from Reekley.
This will hold you for a while.
Now Reekley going back to recapture his beach.
Secured. Got anything else for us?
So right here's a big bonus to why you would want to go Panzer Command. It's not just the mines, but the combined arms bonus triggering without the use of a vehicle.
Veteran squad leaders have been dispersed among the
So
men.
now his units get that extra speed if they so choose. Crad's dead. Crad's dead. Crad gets killed. Greyhound eats a snare. But the Greyhound eats snares for breakfast. Does not care. He's going to reverse out of there, no problem. AT gun finds a shot on the flag reeling. Flag reeling bounces out of there. Rifleman having a hard time pushing this Assault Grenadier. The Assault Grenadier with the M1919 has a combination of long-range aim, short-range damage, and now it's managing to be good at both. Wrigley decides to get a little aggressive, but he regrets it immediately.
Have captured the victory point.
Look at this aggression on the beach from Theo. This is incredible. He's completely knocked Wrigley off balance with how aggressive he is down here on the beach. And it's forcing Wrigley to go back and forth with his DAC units. AT gun pushing up, hoping to get a good shot.
Deal with what you can.
Oof, Rifleman hitting every mine possible. The AT gun finds a good shot. Wow! Lucky attack ground from Theo. Look at that, he killed the flag fearling. Very well played, very well played. That's a big hurt for Wrigley's composition right now. You can tell Wrigley went the half-track, advanced combat half-tracks, but he has no 50s. So now Wrigley has no vehicles and all infantry. He's probably going to benefit from VSL, which he's gotten. Now both players at this exact same time are teching up to tier 4. They're looking for vehicles to break this stalemate.
Victory point under enemy control.
Very well played by Theo and his Greyhound. This Greyhound was able to survive a lot, and despite the odds, and despite the mines, he was able to keep it alive longer than the flag reeler.
Close! Too close!
Keep your eye on this Assault Grenadier, folks. This guy's a commando. Running around this LMG.
Don't get distracted!
If he gets that thing to Vet 3, that thing is nuts. If you guys have never gotten a Vet 3 Assault Gren, that thing is nuts. It's like a plus 25% damage bonus. It's huge. Really huge. There we go. Surprise drop from Theo. He managed to drop in paratroopers, which I sort of question why he went paratroopers, if I'm going to be honest. I guess maybe for the bazookas, maybe for the LMGs. I don't know. Personally, I don't think that was the greatest thing he could have dropped right now. I think he'd be better off with literally anything else.
Proximity alarm near our victory point.
Theo pushing back onto the hill. This is really smart of Theo to envelop Wrigley like this. He's pushing up on the hill, on the beach up here, and along the twin-sided beach over here, south. Now Wrigley's Panzer III is on the field, and this is going to present a huge trouble to Theo because he's only got one AT gun. He's not going to be able to rotate it as fast as his Panzer III can move. So Theo's going to want to get a vehicle out as soon as he can, but he doesn't have the fuel or the manpower for it quite yet. Maybe this AT gun can dissuade it, but hopefully he can get a shot off. Gets one. Gets two. And this is why I think a second AT gun would have been a better pick than getting a paratrooper squad at this point, but oh, this gets the snare on the Panzer III. Now this is a Panzer III in peril. If Theo had a vehicle, he had a tank, this would be an easy kill right now, but he doesn't have anything to push in the Palm Grenadiers. Which again, something you don't want to skip. These guys are holding the line. And you know, it's also amazing that Theo rebuilt the captain too after he lost it. Shows you how important the captain is to his build, because the captain increases the veterancy gain of all the units around it. So I support it. You know, the captain has the marked target. He has the artillery. So the captain has a lot of utility. People sleep on the fact that it's really useful. You know, you lose the captain once, people think, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it again, but no, the captain's good.
We found the front line! Ready to go again. Enemy infantry! Engage! Enemy infantry closing on us! We've done what we can.
Here we go, this Obersoldaten Assault Grenadier squad. Throwing grenades left and right. He's got the Captain LMG. Doing a ton of damage, these guys are. I think this is going to be the first squad that Reekley gets to Vet 3, honest to God. And if he gets these guys to Vet 3, you guys are going to see how strong they really are, I promise you. Greyhound's still getting a lot of good kills. And here we go, first Sherman is on the field from Theo. He's going to look to find some kills. Looking to kill this Assault Grenadier. The Assault Gren hops out just in time. Panzer 3 on the beach. Instead of getting more Panzer 3s, Reekley decides to get the Walking Stuka, so hopefully he can try to get a good shot off of that. Yeah, this Assault Gren still has a ways to go, but once that guy gets a 25% damage bonus, he's going to be real nasty, I promise you. He's a real menace. This Sherman backed up by the USAT gun. It's going to really apply a lot of pressure here. Ooh! Oh no! The Assault Grenadier stood in the doorway for too long. He got one-shotted by the Greyhound. Really unfortunate. Really trying to make his sacrifice worth it, but now he's going to get chased down by this Sherman. Walking Stuka, big shots. Oh, very lucky. Lucky break for Theo. He didn't lose any units there, but he did take a lot of model losses. This league is very happy shooting from base. Panzer 3 is going to get some quick repairs at base if it wants to survive. Right now, it's a matter of who can invest more into Tier 4 and who can keep their Tier 1 units alive. This is really good gameplay out of Reekley moving his truck around because you want, you know, the forward healing. If you can get this truck to Vet 1, it's not as strong as it used to be, but it's still pretty good to get that bonus.
We're losing grasp of a munitions point!
Sherman also getting some repairs. Both players trying their best to get their repairs done. I'm really heartbroken about that Assault Grenadier. I was really excited to see a Vet 3 Assault Grenadier, but you know, Reekley left it in the doorway for too long and he just got torn to shreds. Really unfortunate. Honestly, that's the kind of mistake that might cost Reekley the game. That unit was on its way to Vet 3. There we go. Machine Gewehr. At this stage of the game, I think Reekley cannot deny the fact that he needs a handle on these rifleman pushes. And the MG is going to be a good pick for that. Walking Stuka finds some targets. Oof. Ooh, kills the Pathfinder, but Reekley loses the Panzer 3. He lost it to the P-47 strike. Oh my.
A victory point is being taken from us!
Alright. All of a sudden, things are looking a little dire for Team Reekley.
Bandages and a little something for the pain.
Looks like Reekley's entire army is all infantry, which is DAC is not ideal. That's not ideal if you're DAC. Usually you want a lot more vehicles at this stage of the game. And now, with Theo's second Sherman in build, this is going to start to spiral out of control. Because you see, his infantry units, they're good, right? They're good if you blob them up, but he only has the 5-man Palm Grenadiers. He invested in combat half-tracks that he never got. And now he's going to have to go up and down on these beaches, and the travel time on this map is really brutal if you're not able to swing around back and forth really quickly. So hopefully this Walking Stuka can provide a lot of value, because this is the only vehicle that Reekley has. And so far it's been able to wipe a good squad or two, but he just needs to keep it alive. With 2 Shermans running around, that's going to be pretty hard to do. Pretty aggressive shots on the walking Stuka, but ooh, doesn't get the kill.
We have 200 points remaining.
Really big push from Theo. He manages to decrew Ripley's AT gun.
Hunter 3 is awaiting order.
We got a new Panzer III at base. This thing's gonna have to rush into battle if it wants to save the day. Only one Palm Grenadier on the field. Only one chance to get a snare off. Is he gonna go for it? Oh, he tries to go for it, but he gets killed. Panzer III tries to kill the Sherman, but gets sandwiched by the second one.
The enemy has defeated.
And that's GG. Well played by Theodosios. First win goes to him. And that was brutal. You can see, despite taking more losses, that Theo was able to pull out on top of that game. That's usually how US endgame screens look. But man, that push with the Sherman at the end was pretty strong, pretty nuts. I'm surprised how well that Theo was able to micro that Greyhound as well. That was pretty well played, pretty well microed. All right, folks, I'm gonna queue up the next game. Bear with me. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
We have M29
get ready
weasels
for
ready to
game
deploy.
number 2 between Wrigley and Theodosios. Up here in the north, we've got Theodosios as the Wehrmachts. And over here in the south, we've got Wrigley as the USF. As stated in the rules of the best of 3, you know, they're going to replay the same map on opposite sides and see who comes out on top. Wrigley immediately locking in Special Operations Battle Group. I think he really wants the win, so he's going to go pretty aggressive with this Weasel, and he's going to go pretty aggressive with Whizbangs later on, most likely. So this is going to be a pretty aggressive capping order. Oh man, looks like meanwhile we've got Theodosios with the Stern Pioneers. Now, this is going to be a pretty aggressive build if he wants to make Stern Pioneers work. Usually these guys work best if they're grouped up in a large blob. And you're going to have mixed results, especially on a map like Twin Beaches, because this open area, is going to be tough for him to get to the front line on approach.
Rifleman reporting, Commander.
So we're going to see how well he does. I'm surprised he's not building more Pioneers at this point. I think usually if you want to go heavy onto Stern Pioneers, you want to go multiple Pioneers at the start and then convert them all when you can. There we go, first volleys go out between the Rifleman and the Gren. Theo playing a little conservatively. He doesn't want to be aggressive with the Rifleman. He wants to wait until he can get a critical mass, which is pretty respectable. Sometimes the battle group can make or break your composition in COH3, and I think in this case, if Theo doesn't leverage his battle group well enough, this is going to be curtains for him. Because you've got to use all the tools of your battle group, and you got to use them well.
We have riflemen
They're
taking
pretty
the field.
impactful in this game. So hopefully, you know, he can make use of these stern piles. I hope he doesn't relegate himself to just
Initiating
one or two.
construction of the infantry support
But
center.
if he does, I hope he uses them well. Pioneer's trying to hold back this scout from capping. Sends in the Gren to help.
Stay low!
It's going to be a pretty good deterrent.
Contact! Small arms!
Taking losses!
Big pinch over here coming in from Wrigley. With the hurt on Theo. Scouts pulled up in the lighthouse.
Contact! Engaged at the front! We're gonna overwhelm
Forced to
us!
retreat. You know, Theo might actually get the wipe on this. The height bonus accuracy.
Commander, starting ISC upgrade.
There's not.
Keep your
Very unfortunate, but he does manage to get onto the beach, so he's going to get some good decapping going on. Oh, man, but it's not going to matter because Wrigley's got his main cutoff right over here. Alright, friends and officer quarters. So, this is a little modification of the standard wear build order.
Enemy infantry! Forward on!
Usually you'd have just a normal pio, but this time he's got the stern pio.
Done, Commander!
Going in officer's quarters is pretty standard.
Sector lost.
He's going to get that healing at the start of the game, which is pretty good for him. But that also means we're not going to see any 2-2-1 or stumble rush.
Smoke shells ready to provide cover. Enemy movement
Briefly locking in
victory
infantry
point.
support center.
Leave him!
Victory point now under enemy
This is a
control.
pretty big battle, but it hurts me to see because Dio's got no good close quarters units right now. And these engineers in here, plus the Weasel, really sealed the deal on blocking up this entire sector. This is tough.
Outward! Now
Rifleman
would be
in
a
green cover right
fantastic
outside his
target.
base. This is nasty.
Okay, stop the bleeding! Got anything for Burns?
Putting a mine down there too.
Landmines
Wrigley's
laid
playing
out.
a little nasty. He's pretty strong here. Got the vet one on the Weasel too, so he can just heal his rifleman right now.
Keep your heads down!
Enemy contact!
Go.
Oh!
Good push.
Man down!
Gonna focus down the engineers. It's, best course of action.
Cover him!
These units are all bunched up. He's gonna be able to merge into the Stern Pioneer. That's his highest value unit right here, so he's gonna keep doing that. Unfortunately, all the time he spends here is none of the time he's spending capturing the circle because there's no cover here, so. Alright, now he's gonna try to capture it, but maybe too little too late at this point. Looks like Theo's built a second Stern Pioneer.
Territory lost.
I think Stern Pioneers can be really good, but if you have to really commit to them. You have to really commit to them, and you have to really commit to owning munitions on the map. Which, unfortunately, because Wrigley's been so aggressive on this cutoff,
One of our sectors
Theo's not
is
able
now in
to
enemy hands.
get these northern plus 16. And because he can't get these northern plus 16, his munitions income is abysmal.
Fire at will!
I mean, it's no better than Wrigley's, to be honest, but like right now he needs the munitions more than Wrigley does if he wants to get any juice out of the squeeze. These Stern Pios. Bravo to Theo. He was able to push back and get his cutoff back, but
The enemy have taken
I
territory
think it
from
may have
us.
cost him a lot in the long run.
Defend
see
our
if he
victory
can
point. We're losing it.
Hold off against the
Down! Repair work
Greyhound
complete!
push, because once the Greyhound's on the field, this is going to become a dramatically more difficult game for Theo.
The victory point has fallen into enemy control.
Front infantry! Blast away!
Weasel's really aggressive because,
Territory sector
honestly,
claimed by
Theo
the
doesn't
enemy.
really have a lot to deal with the Weasel at the start of the game. As where you just sort of have to sit in green cover and take the
SSM
damage.
commandos are available to deploy, Commander.
It's really hard to flank the Weasel from a good player. Here we go. Good positioning from Theo. Sitting in green cover, he's going to prevent Wrigley from getting aggressive and giving the cap. I think if Wrigley just moved his Weasel up like an inch, he'd be able to cap this point, to be honest. Interesting, he went for the flamethrower upgrade on the Starpie. That's very interesting. So all his units are forced to retreat, and he's got no AT. So the Greyhound's going to be able to do pretty much whatever it wants. No, base inspection. It's pretty disastrous. I don't think the 221's going to help either, because as soon as it comes out at the wrong time, it's going to be toast.
The squad of SSF commandos has taken to the field.
Now this is the real peril of the Jaeger meta, is that everyone's trying to go Jaegers because they're so good right now with the self-spotting and the flares and the smokes. But as soon as you go Jaegers, you're locked at AT guns, and people who enjoy going Greyhound, going Weasel, they love that. Right now we've seen the Stern Pioneers start to try to make their push, recapture the cutoff over here. Okay, 221 providing some damage from the Panzer Books.
On your mark.
He can probably get the Weasel kill. Oh man, that smoke! Very well timed smoke from Wrigley using the spec off smoke.
Lost control of the sector.
Saved his Weasel.
Field officer under duress!
A squad of SSF is awaiting deployment, Commander.
I still don't know how I feel about the flamethrower upgrade on the Stern Pioneer. I think that would have been okay, given different circumstance, but right now I feel like the G43, not the G43, the ST Jeeps, I feel like those would have been a little bit more of a better pick, considering that he needs the damage and range, you know?
The victory point is under attack. We must act. Roger that.
Now there's SSF commandos on the field, so right now Theo's not going to have anything that's going to be able to stop him very well. Yeah, sure, he's got the 221, but that's Panzer Books 221 now. He's going to build an MG42. Maybe. I think the MG42 is just going to get chewed up by the Weasel and the Greyhound. Trying to build some healing in base, but look how starved for munitions he is. 20 munitions per minute. Generally in COH3 you want 40 munitions per minute, because then you know you're getting at least half the map's resources, right? But he's only got, okay, now he's got 36, this is good. He's going to try to cap his munitions up here, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Greyhound got to him first. But yeah, Theo's in a tough position right now, and he's getting a medical bunker, which is going to help him to a degree, but he's got a long way to go. Greyhound finds his target. Big shot from the Greyhound. Imagine if Theo put a mine here. That would be good. No, that's going to be a dead Pioneer. He doesn't want to risk it. I think Wrigley's experienced to know that most players are smart enough to put a mine here. But in this case, Theo did not, because he's so munition starved. But if he did, that would have been good for Wrigley to not push too aggressively. Slow here, capping on the beach. Big rifle push up here in the center. We're gonna have to leave.
Enemy infantry!
I think Wrigley's really respecting the 221. You know, I think the Greyhound could easily tank a shot or two before diving in, but like I said, he's really respecting the 221 and its ability to sort of damage him. Plus the Faust from the Grenadiers, so he's backing off and trying not to get any damage on this Greyhound, but honestly I think the Greyhound could be more aggressive. Captain Artillery goes off on the MG42, it's going to have to retreat or die.
You've lost the territory sector.
This flamethrower.
Man down!
Flamethrower Stern Pioneer doing some pretty good damage against the rifleman.
The sector's been overrun. And there's no...
That Theo capping on the beach. Maybe there's still some hope for him yet. I think if I were Theo, I'd be really rushing to get a martyr or something, because right now I do not think I would be able to survive this Greyhound constantly harassing me. looks like he's gone the Panzerfaust rollout, which is pretty ambitious of him. We can get the munitions for it, but I don't know. I think this is a situation where the desperation Borg word is not the worst thing in the world. You know, you get the Borg word, lay down a mine or a demo charge right here at these buildings and just delete it next time a unit goes in. That could have been an option, but no, he's playing it safe. He's going Panzerfaust rollout. And he doesn't have the munitions for it, but, you know, by God, he'll try. There we go, flag reeling. Okay. All right, flag reeling and build. Or, I'm sorry, same mistake as before. Warble wind to build. Like I said, the Warble wind is probably fine. Probably okay, but I do think a Martyr would have been nice to deal with the Greyhound. I don't think the 221 can hold it back forever, especially not even vetted.
They've captured a victory point.
Rifleman gonna get pretty aggressive over here.
Smokescreen, on your mark.
Grenadiers really can't hold against Riflemen with bars, so they're gonna have to fall back or retreat.
Anti-tank team on the field.
Rifleman finds a target on the beach.
We've lost a sector.
We were seeing more upgrades for the stern pyos with the infrared STGs. This is gonna be pretty strong video.
Taking crossfire!
Warble rolling in.
Location captured.
He's probably gonna find the SSF. Big ambush bonus.
Target captured!
Deal with him later.
Big damage from those bazookas, surprisingly. It's not often you see the US mortar unless you're doing the pit, but the mortar's doing a pretty good job doing damage too.
Victory point. We're losing it.
Warble, dire straits. Gets away, luckily.
They have taken our victory point.
Greyhound going in for some kills. Still some fight inside that 221. Oh man, these stern pyos are in for a bad time though.
Let's take it back.
Run, stern pioneers, run! Schnell! Greyhound picking away at the stern pyos, but they managed to get out of there. At Vet 2, their damage reduction is pretty good, so.
P-47 strafing runs are now
It's a really good sign of good micro from Wrigley, keeping this Weasel alive 15 minutes into the game, too. Right now, this Weasel doing a really good job of harassing lone infantry units. I don't think Theo's gotten the Panzerfaust rollout yet. I don't think he's been able to afford it, but if he has, he hasn't been able to. He hasn't been able to afford any of the actual Panzerfausts. So I don't think he'll be able to deal with this Weasel for quite a while. And Vet 3 on the Weasel now.
That's our number, boys.
At Vet 3, self-repair is always active. Plus it has more health and vision.
Right, boys?
So this thing is pretty nice for Wrigley. It's pretty good.
has captured the sector.
Plus we got Tank Depot in build. So Wrigley's setting up. Wrigley's getting pretty strong. I think at this point Theo's going to want some AT guns or he's going to start to get rolled over. He's going to make the same mistake as the players before him, where he thinks the 221 is sufficient enough as AT, but as soon as like a Sherman comes out, he's going to realize it's not good enough.
Under heavy enemy fire.
Plus, Wrigley has this anti-infantry loader. He's ready to deploy at a moment's notice. I think that's secretly his ace in the hole. He's willing to hold off on it, but as soon as he plays it, it's going to be pretty devastating. Okay, here we go. Pretty big loiter. I think the Warble can probably deal with it, but okay. Theo decides to retreat anyway. He wants to play it safe. Warble does his best to try to shoot down the planes. The planes have such a wide angle of back and forth that they actually managed to survive. This is looking pretty rough right now. Ripley's full focusing these Stern Pioneers, and losing these Stern Pioneers is going to be devastating. Very expensive squad. He loses them, and they drop the infrared STG, which is, man, that's devastating. If Ripley finds that and he can pick it up, then he's going to be very happy, but I suppose he chooses not to. Whirlwind in pretty big trouble right now. Got another Warble. No Martyr. Very interesting.
Enemy activity. Your munitions point.
You know, I would think at this point he'd get at least one Martyr. You know, 1 or 2 Martyrs to deal with the incoming Shermans or the Greyhound push. But you know, double Warble is sort of a gamble. It's going to do well against the rifles, but not well against any of the armor that comes out. Which at this point, inevitably, it will.
Territory sector claimed by the enemy.
Warble finds some good shots at the rifleman. Order gets a shot on the Warble.
Ain't come soon enough, sir. Think they know we're here.
A little bit of cheeky breach coming in from Ripley's rifleman.
Cover him.
They hold. Greyhound at Vet 2 is still doing pretty well. Still doing pretty healthy. At this point, I think Theo's given up on trying to kill the Greyhound. I think he's 2-2-1 is just sort of like not really in it to kill the Greyhound anymore. Just do that. Like at this point, he could just easily charge in, but he's like, I don't feel like it. What's the point? Whatever. There we go. First Sherman has revealed itself. Now we're seeing the reactionary Martyrs coming from Theo, but I think they're going to come in a little bit too late. As long as Theo can hold the line long enough for the Martyr, I think it'll be okay. But right now, things are sort of collapsing very quickly.
Capture complete, sir. Waiting on you.
It's full sending the 2-2-1. A little moment of hesitation. Oh no. Theo, no. He's trying to find the Greyhound. Very desperate. Alright, look at that. Martyr came just in time. Oh. All of that and the 2-2-1 hits a mine. Fortunate. This is what I mean when I say, like, the battle group will make or break your gameplay, right? Like, Theo picked this battle group, but he only went like 2 Stern Pioneers or 3 Stern Pioneers, right? And yeah, the Flamethrower Stern Pio is good, but like only if you supplement it with other good stuff from the battle. Like, he has enough commander points to probably get the propaganda beacons, you know, Panther term, anything, literally anything, right? But unfortunately, he's too strapped. Doesn't have enough resources for anything. Looks like Ripley's activated the passes coming in from special operations, which means it's going to decap and capture much faster.
The enemy have taken territory from us.
He's able to decap some stuff on the beach, but it didn't really pan out that well. Sort of like a waste of the ability, if you ask me. Go. Double Warbles, trying their best to hold off the infantry. Single Martyr, looking for another Martyr. It's a civilian truck instead, okay. Hot, sexy Martyr, seeking similar Martyr. There we go, double Martyrs, now ready for the fight. I'm surprised that this Weasel has survived this long. Look at this Vet 3 self-repairing Weasel. What a clown car. Look at this thing.
Lost control of the sector.
Now we've got 2 Shermans on the field. It's been pretty dangerous for Theo right now. Those double martyrs are really going to have to put in some work. Hopefully he can get forward enough and then lay down the focused stance on these things so he can get the extra range. This it's just taking so much unnecessary losses on his stern pyros. There we go. Focus stance. Gets 2 shots off on the Sherman. Well done. Another 2 shots. Decrease the AT gun by some stroke of luck. Orbital pushing in pretty aggressively, but I think he's going to have to rethink it. Wow. Gets the shot on the Sherman. Loses the Orbital wind, unfortunately, but getting that kill on the Sherman's pretty good. Looks like Weekly's upgraded the 76mm upgrade for the Shermans, the conversion. I was pretty surprised by how well those martyrs did.
John, leave him!
But make no mistake, right now Theo's sort of in a sinking ship and he's desperate to plug in the holes. Look at that, he's like probably right-clicked with his Jaeger, meant to click it with his stern pyro. Like right now, shit is looking a little bad for Theo. But that's okay. He's gonna try to get back on his feet with the martyrs, but will it be enough? Remains to be seen. 23 minutes into the game, if you have a Vet 3 Weasel, then you deserve to have that Vet 3 Weasel. Weekly just getting a lot of value out of this thing. Look how quickly he was able to decap and capture this victory point.
Supplies are cut off. We have holes in our front line.
Yeah, Theo's a little bit stuck inside his base right now, but hopefully he can get out soon.
Enemy movement near a victory point. They pushed us off a sector.
I'm hit, man!
A victory point is under enemy control now.
He's converted all his Grens into Jaegers, which is
Releasing the fuel point.
either for better or worse, because with these vehicles running around now, these Jaegers are not really going to do a lot of damage the way that he hopes. Wow, this is a really aggressive martyr. Okay, and he's going to get snared. He's probably going to lose that martyr too at this point. No follow-up. He's building another
We must act.
Warble. I would think he would probably want another martyr at this point, knowing how things are going right now, but
Victory point now under enemy
I
control.
guess he decides he wants the meals on wheels. He wants to churn up these Shermans. Or the riflemen, rather. This would be a good shot on the Greyhound. No follow-up.
Point captured it!
A lot of good side capping by Weekly on the beach. This is really good. Getting aggressive on these capture points is what's going to keep Theodosius off balance and not able to get back in this game. Good smoke from the scout. Saves its life.
Something to do!
Get a clear field of fire.
And things are looking a little tough for Theo, but he's not out of the game yet. He has a good amount of, veterancy units.
Been overrun. It's theirs
He has
now.
the tools that he needs to win this game. It's just a matter of, like, can he use them right? Can he get the right positioning? I'm also extremely surprised that Weekly did not go any whiz-bangs, because currently, if he had just gone, like, 1 or 2 more whiz-bangs, I think he'd be able to seal the deal. So, yeah, no, now he's capturing the victory point over here on the beach.
Sherman tank, finished and ready.
The fresh Sherman coming from base. Again, this easily could have been a whiz-bang, but I think Weekly wants the flexibility of the Shermans. I really admire Weekly's build right now, too, because he's got AT guns, he's got the tanks, and the indirect. He's got all the combined arms you would need Company of Heroes that was assigned that. Things are pretty healthy over there.
Pushed us off a sector.
Like, if at this point in the game Ripley's build was like 7 riflemen and he was still winning, I'd be really sad about the state of the game. But yeah, this is pretty good. You know, we see a really balanced composition and Ripley pulling ahead.
Ready to deploy.
Meanwhile, Theo's got
Enemy is losing
he's
their
got like
ground.
5
Down to 100
tanks, right?
points.
5 vehicles. And he only has 2 units to repair them, so he's trying to play a little conservatively, so he doesn't have to like waste too much time repairing them, but it's sort of backfiring. Look at this. Try to charge these martyrs and flak reeling, or Warblewind over here.
Jesus! Do they ever stop?
I think the martyrs will be able to get at least 1 shot, but not more than 1.
Move complete.
Triple martyr push. Very aggressive. There's no way he gets a second. He's pushing these martyrs up pretty aggressively with no screening unit. Could have gone really poorly for Theo, but I think at this point he's pretty desperate. This Vet 3 Weasel is such a pain, man. He's capping everything. And now Riku is going to end the game with a bit of a base inspection. Pretty unfortunate. The fact that this Greyhound was able to survive the whole game, plus the Weasel was able to survive the whole game, it's a pretty impressive micro on Riku's part, if I'm going to be honest. Got a kill on the Greyhound. Oh my god, he's not gonna get that. Needs to get 1 more shot. 1 more shot. You can do it, Theo! Gets the Sherman, but loses the Warble due to these double AT guns. Loses another Jaeger squad as well on the beach. Yeah, I think this is the end of Theo right now.
They're tearing through us! Stand down!
Oof.
The enemy is running.
That's GG, well played. Well played by Reekley. It looks like we're going to go into the 3rd game of the best of 3. Well played by both players. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to see both of these players duke it out to see who wins their best of 3. Stay tuned, folks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. We've been at this for, about a good amount of time. Good good couple hours, so, gotta take a little break now and then, but so far we've had some pretty good games. And coming up next, we've got Reekley versus Theo. This is going to be their third game, best of three, as per the rules. They're going to have to change maps to one of their second picked maps, and then we're going to see who is the victor. I hope you guys are enjoying the game so far. If you like the game so far, please follow Championship of Heroes. Shout out to you, Myronbra, for allowing me, Foolish Viceroy, to cast for you guys today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm a little rusty, hanging in there, but these games are not bad. It's a really good, interesting peek at the current meta of COH3, and believe it or not, it's not all blobs. We've got some pretty diverse builds going on here, and even though we're starting to see a lot of similar variations on a theme, these players, even though they build the exact same units, it's the positioning that matters the most and how you use those units. So, well played to everyone involved so far, and honestly, it's been a real treat to see how these players have managed to, react and respond to each other's builds. So, these are some of the best players in COH3 right now, and really glad to see some of the gameplay that we have so far. So in just a moment, we're going to be seeing the third and final game between Reekley and Theo, and hopefully this is an exciting one. No cheese, all grit. Got myself a cup of coffee, and if we have time after this, then I'll be able to cast match group 1 with Ray, Tony Montana, and you, Myron, bruh. But that's only if I have time. No promises, but I'll do my best as it stands now. I've been streaming for a good while, so we will see. All right, without further ado, let's transition to the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the final game between Reekley and Theodosios, best of 3. Your caster today, Foolish Viceroy here, and on the west side, we've got Reekley playing as the British forces. On the east side, we've got Theodosios playing as the Wehrmacht. And today we're playing on every competitive player's favorite map, Road to Tunis. Yeah, I think it's funny. No matter how many maps get added to this game, people will always pick Road to Tunis. And this has sort of become like the competitive map for COH3. Sort of like how Famenville and Nexus were, the main maps for COH2. What were the main maps for COH2? Famenville, Nexus, and Crossroads. Those were like basically the big 3 every time, right? So seeing Road to Tunis all these times really just highlights how it's like probably the more competitive of the 1v1 map layouts. Which is not the worst thing in the world, but I'm glad players are seeing a map where they can play on and feel like they're playing to their fullest extent with the best possible balance. So, more power to them. More power to them. Right now, we are seeing a Luftwaffe start from Theodosios. Very interesting. We're going to see these Volsham Pioneers dropping in from the skies. It remains to be seen if he's going to drop another, but, could really go either way at this point. By dropping a Volsham Pioneer, you immediately already change your Wehrmacht build order pretty dramatically. Because instead of going like Pioneer, Pioneer, Triple Gren, you've got a whole new unit that costs a lot more different cost than a Pioneer. So, hopefully he's going to be able to get some good usage out of this Volsham Pioneer, but hopefully it doesn't backfire. The fact that he's building another Gren instead shows that maybe Theo's probably going to go the standard build order. He's going to build maybe one more Gren after this, and he's either going to rush a vehicle or he's going to go officer's quarters. So we'll have to see what he picks. Wrigley, on the other hand, not going a second Royal Engineer, instead going triple infantry sections. So that probably means he's going to go a 4th infantry section at this point. Really surprised to see no dingoes. Usually that's been pretty strong and favored by a lot of players, but no dingoes today. Going heavy on the infantry for their capping potential and their scalability. Not complaining. Alright, looks like we're seeing a MG42 instead. It's going to be good holding off against the multiple infantry sections, but I do think this could be a little bit of a misstep considering the fact that he has so many infantry sections on the field that all he has to do is get these scoped rifle upgrades. And he's not only is he going to be able to get these flares, not only is he going to be able to call in artillery, but he's going to be able to have that +10 spotting distance, and he's going to be able to see these machine guns before the machine guns can even see him. So I think pretty effectively building this MG is sort of dead in the water for Theo. I think this was already a big misplay, but we'll see. You know, I could be wrong. That's the nature of these self-spotted units, is that they kind of negate MG play, but it doesn't mean MGs are useless. It just means that both players have to play a little bit more carefully. Here we go, first volleys of the game have started. Big push from the bolt-action rifles, managed to push off the infantry section here. Wrigley's already halfway full of scoped rifle units, so he's sort of building up his mass. These units are pretty comfortable sitting in the building over here. Don't think Theo has anything to deal with the buildings yet, so as long as Wrigley holds up in the center line, he's pretty safe, he's pretty happy. We sort of saw this strategy earlier with Theo versus Alex, where Theo likes to play defensive. He'll play with recover, he'll hold this upper VP and fuel, and if nothing else, he'll hold it pretty well. Because all he has to do is wait for Wrigley to push in, and then if he's lucky, then Theo will win the engagement through cover alone. This machine gun's another big part of that too, because he can just sort of hold the line, and maybe he's thinking it'll be a repeat of his game with Alex Dan, but with Wrigley, you know, you have to be prepared for anything. And right now, Wrigley's already on his way to get a quick Humber. At the same time that Theo's getting his 221, so both players trying to get their light vehicles out pretty early, but I think the 221's going to have like a very brief 10-second window of being able to shoot whatever it wants before the Humber rolls in and starts doing a ton of extra damage. So we'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully Theo doesn't get too greedy, but like I said, 221 has a grace period, and now the Humber's on the field, so now we got to be careful. The 221's got to be careful and try not to be too aggressive. There is the AT gun back at base, so Wrigley can crew it whenever he wants to, but that's going to be nowhere near the 221 by the time he shows up. So here we go. Humber has shown up. It's revealed. Theo immediately backs off his 221 and decides, hey, I don't want any of that smoke. I do not want it. Is he going to grow Panzer books? I don't think so. Instead, he's going to build a fresh Jaeger. He's going to crew the LG-40. And he's going to try to pull this up to the front. And he's going to try to spare himself from the Panzer books. Because he knows that as soon as he does that, he's not going to have this incredible kiting opportunity that he has with the 221. Humber trying its best to take out the MG42. And the fact that the MG42 is in green cover is going to push save that unit. Big shot from the LG40. Wowee! I think that took Wrigley off guard by how powerful that was. So now, there we go. Now we have a fully functional 221 without having to upgrade the Panzer books. And this is going to be huge for Theo, because now he's going to be able to kite all these infantry sections without having to worry about the Humber as much. Because as soon as the Humber shows up, it's going to get a big shot, and he knows he's safe. See that? Look at that. Big shots. So now this 221 can do all the damage in the world. And the LG-40 wasn't even expensive either. It's like 75 munitions versus the Panzerbooks, which is like maybe 60, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a pretty good value. There we go, Jaegers may be able to spot for the LG-40, but the Humber backs out just in time. Oof. Huge rifle nade on the MG-42 back at base. Oh man, and Reekley's able to crew it and get out of there. Maybe if Theo's lucky, he'll be able to use the 221 and the MG. But only if he's lucky, because that Humber is still in spitting distance.
Victory point under enemy control.
It's the D-crew.
Has been lost to enemy action.
And that one, which is good.
We're losing a victory point to enemy action.
Yeah, this is a really good idea from Theo. It's surprisingly really good range of the LG-40.
We're losing a victory point.
Reekley, having the presence of mind of knowing that the LG-40 is limited in its mobility, he's going to use the Humber to harass the Pioneer down here on his south.
Belongs to the enemy.
The key is to sort of outrange the LG-40 by being really mobile. Now, if Theo builds a second LG-40, that's a different story entirely, right? But in the meantime, you know, I think Theo's in a pretty happy place right now. This strategy of holding the top and then finally pushing into center when the wear finally has more tools, I think it's worked out for him. Because like early game wear is just cope. You just have to survive. But now that he has the tools, he's able to push in and be really aggressive in the center. It's worked out for him.
Orders complete. Dog better than fucking paperwork.
Theo, not realizing the infantry section were closing in, he uses that building and is forced to retreat his grunt.
A Polish Lancer section has been assembled.
Reekley locking in the Polish battle group. So now we've got Polish Lancers on the way. He's going to be a real pain for the 221. 221's window of freedom is finally over. Here I was thinking the 221 was only going to have 10 seconds of freedom, but wow, that LG-40 really proved me wrong. Sneaky line up here in the north. Well played by Reekley. This could get the 221 if he's too greedy.
Landmines in place.
Whackers! There you are!
Sweepers away.
I think the Polish units are sort of a paradox. You'd think they'd be overpowered, right? Because they have anti-infantry and anti-vehicle, the Boys AT. But, I don't know. I think the Polish guys are okay. They're a little squishy, if nothing else. Great shot on the Humber. Polish unit tore up the MG-42. Reekley getting pretty aggressive, capping the fuel outside of Theo's base. Theo doing his best to hold the northern VP, doing what he does best, and credit to him, you know, he succeeds. He really does hold the north, but now it's going to come at the cost of these Polish units closing in. Yeah, really aggressive push over here by Reekley. I think Theo really has to swing over. I don't think he has a choice. He can't hold top forever, and this LG-40 needs to move with him.
We're losing a fuel point to enemy action.
And it looks like we're finally getting an AT gun from Reekley too. So as soon as the AT gun up is finally on the field, I think the 221's finally its privileges.
Anti-tank weapon and crew on the field.
Okay, interesting rifle nade. Didn't hit anything, but provided intimidating damage. Polish units get a quick shot off on the 221, but decide to retreat.
Replacements are in. Let's plunge through their faces. Good as new. Repairs finished. Enemy crew forces have claimed a sector.
It's pretty interesting. Very heavy infantry build for Replay, going 4 infantry sections and the Polish. So, you know, at this point, if Theo decides he wants to go Werbles, you know, then more power to him. I think he'd actually have a pretty good time. Look at all these scopes on the infantry sections too. Most of these high-level players won't bother going with Brenz, and I'm going to be honest. Brenz is sort of a trap. Because of how good the scope rifles are, they give you the spotting, they give you the flares. Look, like right now he has vision on that 221 only because he has the scopes.
The enemy has claimed a sector.
And he can call in the artillery.
Fuck me!
So it's the cheapest upgrade and the most effective upgrade. So for Replay, this is almost a no-brainer. Of course he's going to pick it, right? The longer he keeps his units here, the greater danger they'll be because the infantry sections are going to throw a rifle nade. Oh, big hit on the Jaeger. 221 playing cautiously. Doesn't want to fall prey. Polish units are going to decap the field, but they're going to be the safest units to do so because the 221 can't really do anything about it. Or at least not without trying. Oh, look at that range! Wowee, okay, alright. Well, you got a quick volley off, but it's not going to be able to 1v1 that Polish squad. It simply won't.
The enemy wants to fight! Give them a fight!
Polish units holding pretty well against the Jaegers. I've said it once and I'll say it again, Jaegers are pretty much the Wehrmacht meta right now, because you can run and gun with these guys, and you don't have the range restrictions that Panzergrants do. So these guys have been pretty great for all Wehr players. And you can tell right now, look at Theo's entire army. He's already transferred all of his Grens into Jaegers. So now both players playing with the scope rifles, getting the extra vision. That's the name of the game. Vision, vision, vision. And also free stuff like the flares. Maybe the flares probably remove the munitions cost, but that's just me thinking a balance.
Taking hits!
There we go. Umber begging for an LG-40 shot. LG-40 trying to get a better angle.
Cover his position! Orders complete!
Jerry's got it in for us!
Base artillery pounding over here in the northern corner.
Keep fighting!
Ooh, ooh. Royal Engineer barely getting out. Almost got eviscerated by the Jaegers and the Bolshevik Pioneers. So now we've got 4 Jaegers on the field, 4 scope rifle Jaegers. These guys are going to tear up the infantry. But I think right now, this LG-40's got to get out of here. Right, luckily he can retreat. He's out of there. 221 in peril. No Fausts left on the field. This is the danger of going all Jaegers and no Grens left, because now that 221 is very lucky to be alive. Very lucky indeed. But now Reekley's upgraded the tech for grants, so as soon as he gets a grant, like, I don't know if the LG-40 is going to be able to penetrate the frontal armor of the grant. Good rifle nade from Reekley. Polish units salvaging a little bit of manpower. That's no joke, the extra 30 manpower for every model you scavenge. The players don't think that's a good idea because, you know, you think, oh, well, if I'm scavenging models, then I've already lost the fight. But it's good to pick up those models. There we go. Machine gun. Look at that. The MG42 barely started to set up, and that guy already shot a rifle nade at him. So this is what I mean when I say the scope rifles, that's why they're so meta right now. You can see so much and it just completely makes the MG42 useless. And that's why you have so many of these so-called blobs running around. You know, they can do what they want. There's nothing to rein them in. Except more blob. But credit to both players. The 221 survived, the Humber survived, 17 minutes into the game. Both light vehicles have survived. But, you know, I do think that Theo's strategy of holding the top victory point is starting to lose some steam. You know, his strategy was to hold top until he was strong enough to push middle, but now middle's too strong. Middle is simply too strong, and now he's not going to be able to make that push. What is Theo stalling for? Is he trying to stall for Martyrs? Is he stalling for Warbles? I just don't. I simply don't know. I simply think he needs to make something happen soon. And currently, oh, he's got tier 4. Missed that. So if he has tier 4, then it looks like Theo's probably going to go Panzer Force. And that'll be good for him because then he can deal with whatever comes out of tier 4 over here, which is going to be the Grants. And, you know, this is another situation where if he had gone for Panzer Grenadiers, then he would have had Stugs, and Stugs are the perfect. Stugs are literally the perfect counters to Grants because their frontal armor and their penetration is perfect to deal with the Grants. In fact, the Stugs are the only thing that can deal with Grants. And Stugs are not really good against much else, like dedicated Grant killers.
A Grant medium tank is reporting in.
Here we got the 221 backing out of damage, backing out of combat. And the first Grant has hit the field, so Ripley's in a really dominant position now. Now he's ready to deal with whatever comes out on the field. Theo's got the Panzer IV coming out, but if I'm going to be honest, the Panzer IV is not as good as the Grant. It's pretty dang good. So we're going to start to see some pretty nasty Grant gameplay coming up right here. Here we go, Grant coming in.
How many guns do you need?
LG40 takes a shot, immediately misses. LG40 is not going to stick around to find out if he can penetrate the next shot. The Grant's going to chase that thing all the way back home. This is a disaster. LG40 is the only AT gun on the field and got decrewed instantly by the Grant. Grant moving in to try to kill the LG40. I don't think the Panzer IV is going to make it in time. Oof. Big trouble, big trouble. Panzer IV coming in for the Grant. Look at the damage difference between the Panzer IV and the Grant. Oh, here we go. We got the Luftwaffe loiter. I don't know. I think this Panzer IV is in big trouble. If he can get to the side of it, oh my goodness, the Panzer IV just gets deleted by the Grant. That's unfortunate. That's it. Theo throws in the towel. Oh man, that's rough. GG's to both players. Congratulations to Reekley for winning the best of 3, the first best of 3 of the day. But then again, like I said, congratulations to both players. They both, you know, won their respective games and played to the best they could. But best man wins. Very exciting couple of games. Very exciting. All right, let's take a look at the bracket. The bracket is not yet updated. I have not gotten a chance to update it, and neither has Myron, but as you can see right now, it is Reekley, who probably has the most points right about now. And this is only day 1 for those tuning in. I know today's a Friday. It's a tough day for people to watch Company of Heroes, but tomorrow we are probably going to see match group 3, and on Sunday we're going to see match group 4 and or the final games of the series. I think Saturday is going to be Grey Shot. Grey Shot will be able to cast you guys groups 3 and 4. And Sunday, we're going to have N7 Shark be able to cast the final group, which is going to be the top 3 players. So that's going to be really exciting. You know, we're going to see the best players in Co compete and see who takes the crown. Let me just see if I have time to cast match group 1. You know, we've got Ray, Tony Montana, and Umira and Brian. I know you guys know Ray. Ray's always powerhouse, but maybe I can get 1 or 2 games in. Like I said, I have been casting for about 3 hours straight now, so I probably will have to head off soon. So let me see if I can cast at least 1 or 2 games for match group 1, and then that'll be it for me. All right, gonna take a look at these games. I hope you guys have enjoyed so far. You know, I'm working on casting. I don't claim to be the best caster in the world. You guys can always tune in to Gray Shot, Shark, Olvati, you know, all those great guys. You know, some people have a real talent for casting, so I'm doing my best over here. I don't claim to be super good, but you know, I'm doing my best. All right, I've gotten word that UMB has updated the bracket. Let me take a look. I will update that right now. All right, and here we are. We've got the updated bracket for today. Again, many congratulations to Reekley and to all else who were involved, as well as Alex Stan and Theodosios. You know, can't discount that both players tried their best. Thank you, GB. Thank you, GB. Much appreciated. Let me see. All right, I think I have time for at least 2 or 3 games. Okay. Let me just double check. There we go. Here's the upgrade. Here's the updated stats. I forgot to transition that. All right, I've gotten word from UMB that I can cast Tony versus Ray. All right. These guys are the Titans that everyone loves to see fight, right? So let's get on with it. Quickly setting up the overlay. Bear with me. All right. On to match group 1. 3, 2, 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on to match group 1
Lay the foundation.
of Heroes League.
Infantry company is going here.
Event number 2. Over here on the east side of, would you have guessed it, Road to Tunis, we've got Ray playing as the Mammoth.
Eager for the
On the
challenge.
west side, we've got the Tony Montana playing as the U.S. Forces. And it's looked like Tony's picked Partisans. Partisans, very interesting pick, especially seeing as Partisans got pretty nerfed pretty heavily. You know, the cooldown time for the tunnels is pretty tough to play with these days. But you know, these are some of the best players in Co, so maybe they know something I don't. It's gonna be a tough battle for both players. But right now it looks like Ray has gone double Pioneer start. And this is what I'm talking about, like the way that Theodosios plays. He plays very defensively in the north, right? And he'll hold it with the MG and green cover and sandbags, and he'll hold that until he's strong enough to go center. But Ray has a very specific playstyle. Ray will almost always go super aggressive down here on the south side of Road to Tunis. So you're gonna see some pretty aggressive play.
Frontline territory captured, Commandant.
I see them!
Just fix this overlay real quick.
Enemy
There we go,
attacking!
overlay is fixed.
Grenadiers are under
So
fire!
Ray's getting pretty
Find
aggressive with
cover!
these Grens, but you're going to start to see why a lot of players don't get too aggressive down here as wares, because, you know, early game wear units don't really outclass the allied
He's
units.
fucking dead!
Early game wear is a lot of cope. So right now he's fighting from green cover to green cover, but by the time he's going to get any sort of upper hand, the second rifle squad's going to come in.
Grenadiers have been
Second
mustered
Gren
for
squad's
battle.
way off. Like right now, if Ray were Dak, he'd be really able to crush this fight right now. But this long-range fight, green cover to green cover, is. I think in Code 2, maybe Ware would have an edge, right? With a double rifleman versus a Gren and a Pio, it's not super favorable. But hopefully, the second Gren can really turn the tide in time. The rifleman also coming in, so this is going to be pretty tight down here. There we go, big volley takes out a model of the rifleman.
Grenadiers assembled.
Resist! He's dead!
Leave him.
The Gren out of the base. So this, like I said, this is pretty standard Ware build order at this point. 3 Grens and a second Pio. Next up is going to be officers' quarters unless he decides to crush a vehicle. Surprisingly, Ray was able to come out on top with this with the second Gren. Third rifle's here to fight, but here a little bit too late.
Don't get this to be dropping like flies here!
I think this rifle's forced to retreat. Yeah, if this rifle's forced to retreat, then maybe he can go back down on these Grens, but... Oh man, he took a lot of damage on approach, these rifles. I think that he's going to have to retreat. Yeah, it's rough for Tony.
Son of a bitch!
Tony trying to push in on the Grens, but
Dropping
at
like
this point,
flies
he's
here!
fighting an uphill battle. Forces another retreat. This is good for him.
Never thought I'd see the day, Grenadiers!
It's good.
Grenadiers
Forced another
have
retreat.
been mustered for battle.
Medical supplies for us.
Well played by both players. Ray capping up at the top. He built a 4th Gren. Very interesting. Ray moving heavily into his Grens.
All replacement. My lucky day.
No officers' quarters yet. So I think he's decided to really go heavy on these Grens. And whatever veterancy they get, he'll be able to transfer those later. So I don't think he's too concerned about that necessarily. Plus with the Grens, he's got the snares, the grenades, anything he basically needs for now. Right now, Tony's build looking a little light on infantry. He's got early healing, but you know, his build right now is very light. Trying to cap some stuff from the rifleman. I think at this point, fourth rifleman wouldn't hurt for Tony. But wait, Ray places Gren's very aggressive and very look at this this tactical blob. They look like ants.
Territory captured, Commandant.
A little ant colony over here.
Front ahead!
Go rifles. Finding the Pioneer out of cover, but now the Pioneers are in green cover, so they'll be able to hold off against the rifles for a good amount of time. These scouts are going to retreat, but they've got a hell of a retreat path. 4 Grenadiers. Look at this burst damage. It's going to be a dead scout. That.
Good riddance! Infantry killed!
Now we've got a captain on the field, which means that Tony's gone the infantry support center. Alright, yeah, that's infantry support center.
Territory lost.
Now who will win? 4 Grens or a rifle with high
Fierce promotion!
Conrad, do your best. We're firing at them, Krauts. This volley fire, my god. It's just nasty, my god. Look at this cheeky little tunnel that Tony's built. Looks like a couple of tunnels coming out. 4th rifle coming out, just like I was hoping Tony would make, but these are pretty nasty, and looks like Ray has foregone officer's quarters, because he knows he can get veterancy pretty quick like this. Oh man, oh man! The double grenade! That is nasty. That is nasty. And now, because he was able to forego officer's quarters, Ray's able to rush out of 221 and apply double the pressure on Tony's rifles. Look at this. This is just nasty. So now he has the 221. Tony's got grenades, but that's not really going to do anything if he has to deal with all these grants constantly as well. It's pretty nasty. Plus they've got green cover too, so this is a real question of like, what can Tony do? I guess the only thing Tony can do is surrender. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ray Blob, the Gren Blob. Oof, that was a little nuts, a little crazy. Let's see if Tony can redeem himself with game number 2. And, of course, due to the rules, it's going to be the same map, best of 3. So let's see, Ray versus Tony Montana in game number 2. Just 1 second while I get the overlay ready. All right, and here we go for game number 2 of Tony Montana versus Ray. On the east side, we've got Tony as the Wehrmacht, and Ray on the west side as the
Section CP right there. Make it snappy.
If I'm going to be honest, I am surprised to see Ray go the British, because Ray's usual bread and butter is USF. He always goes USF. For a long while, he said USF is
What needs doing?
is cheating in COH3. That's how confident he was with USF.
Section command's done.
But
Let's
this is
get men
a
on the
little
front
bit of a
line
departure
pronto.
from Ray's usual builds that we've seen in 1v1. And look at that, he's even ignoring the +10 outside his own base. What is he planning? What is Ray doing?
Must not be. Jerry's rations are cheap.
Thought he was going to go dingo here for a second, but no, he's going infantry section. Deciding to go fast onto his cutoff, ignore the +10. He's probably going to cap that with his infantry
Position
section.
taken.
An infantry section of Tommies.
He's going heavy on the south because he knows that if Ray were playing against Ray right now, Ray would be fighting right now, right here in the south. But Tony's the opposite, right? Tony's going to go hard in the top and then hold. Pretty similar build order. Pretty similar cap order. Thank you, Valerian Born, for the raid. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Mission's on.
Spark up while there's time.
Now we've got Ray creeping in to take the victory points.
Pleasanton accounted for,
I think
sir.
Ray's build is going to be pretty standard at this point. He's going to go probably one or two more infantry sections before he techs up. Knowing Ray, I wouldn't be surprised if he builds two more,
Present and accounted for.
considering
Rifles
that's
reporting.
his build these days. Just mass main lines.
While there's still a door.
Same thing for Tony. Tony's got the pretty standard build. We're going to see either an MG or Gren, but like I said before, with how the scope rifles currently are,
Flamethrower duty. Damn it, start.
Gren's managed to get in. I think Ray was not paying attention there. See, and now we've got another Gren in production. Like I said, the way that the scope rifles currently are, if you go MG42 against Brits, then you're gonna have to deal with constant spotting of your MG, and it just kind of makes it useless. But well played by Ray. He's got the flamethrower already, so these Grens can't really take advantage of the building. Pioneers and Grens closing the gap on the infantry section. Flamethrower is going to be a big issue, but he's going to focus it down with the Grens. Loses the Pioneer. Tony lost his Pioneer. That's a shame.
They're breaking through
I think he thought the Pioneer could take on the infantry section by itself, but as soon as the second one showed up and the third one showed up, it's no match. I think Tony's no match right here. He's going to retreat.
The beggars are threatening a munitions point.
Already a big loss at the start. Grens have the high ground now, but they are probably not going to survive against these infantry sections. There we go. Fresh squad inside the building.
We're losing a munitions
They pop
point.
out. Early officers' quarters. Interesting. Right, so we got the officers' quarters without the second Pio, so this is a little bit of a one-legged dance.
Sector overrun. The enemy has it.
I think Tony's hurt a little bit because he's not able to capture this very well either, because he needs that Pioneer to have a flamethrower, right? A flamethrower Pioneer you want on the front line. You want that guy helping you out in close quarters battles. But because he doesn't have the second Pioneer, he can't like cap on the sides. So right now Tony's losing a lot of resources right now just by merit of not having a second Pioneer. It's really a cascading effect. So we'll have to see how well he performs right here. But now he's going to try to do a little bit of bunching up with the Grens.
Enemy troopers, keen!
Section's getting a little bit aggressive. There we go. I think Ray is going to forgo that infantry section for now. But as soon as he can get a quick convert, that's definitely going to be the way to go.
The platoon command post is done.
Come to think of it, I haven't seen people try to go for Stewarts in a hot minute. I think Humber is still pretty good these days. Still pretty good. I think Stewarts were really popular last tournament due to how well they could
With the bloody enemy!
use the command ability. It's all the infantry sections. Yo, Ren's being a little bit cautious. I don't know why, but I think Tony needs to get him in there, but maybe he's trying to get them in a tactical block formation before he pushes in. go. Let's get the mass. Bit of damage on that infantry section, but now the Royal Engineers have pushed in. He's gonna do a little bit of stutter step. Can he hold back the British Army? I don't. Oh, there we go. Pretty ambitious grenade. Oh my gosh, this flamethrower is just tearing up. Boy, Tony's in trouble now. Plus Ray's captured the +10 outside of Tony's base. Oh, what's happened? But Ray's gotten pretty dang aggressive and pretty good at his aggression too. He didn't even build more than 3 infantry sections, and he was able to use them in a pretty aggressive way. I think Tony's Grants had a chance. And like I said, look at these points down here in the south. They're completely neglected because he has to focus on the center. Yep, Encumber has entered the field. 221 got a little too aggressive at the 6-minute mark. I don't think there's going to be any foul system time. This is the 221. That's it. Oh man.
Good work.
Woo. GG's. GG's. Looks like Ray just tore up Tony Montana like paper. And second win, best of 3 goes to Ray. Looks like Tony is out. All right, head back to the bracket now. Again, apologies, haven't had a chance to update these brackets in between games, but you know, you still get a sense of who's been playing. All right, next game we got is, well, we have Tony, we've gotten Ray, right? So the last player to see in this match group 1 is Umairinbra, our esteemed founder of Championship of Heroes. So let's see the game that he's played against Ray and see how well he did. Bracket's been updated. Just give me a second. I'll update that right now on the stream. There we go. All right, in just a moment, we're going to be seeing the last games between Ray and Umairinbra. So hold on tight. Give me 1 second. It's always a little bit of setup for the in-game overlay. All right, in 3, 2, 1. All right.
Section CP, right there. Make it snappy.
Would you have guessed it? We are back on Road to Tunis with Umairinbra over here on the east side playing as the Wehrmacht, and over on the west side we've got Ray once again playing as the British forces. Let's see, what are we expecting? Probably the same.
Ready to go.
You know, we got the double Pioneer start. We're going to see triple Grenadiers. And we're probably going to see triple infantry sections. You know, at this point, we've seen how these players play, and you know, it's not not crazy.
Position taken.
Like, what you expect in the build order is pretty much the same at this point. The meta has gotten, I wouldn't say stale, but it's gotten a little predictable right now. And predictable isn't a bad thing necessarily, but it is good to see some changes once in a while. So we'll start to see how these players interact. And honestly, I can't really complain. Seeing 3 Grens and an extra Pioneer is not the worst thing in the world. It's not like the build where it's 7 Pioneers, right? Or 7 Royal Engineers. So, you know, we're going to see how these players play, and there's not really a lot to see at the early game. We've seen Road to Tunis, we've seen the cap orders, so you know, nothing groundbreaking, right? Good timing from you, Myron, bruh. Hopping into the building just in time for the infantry section. He's not going to be able to hold this battle very long, because even with the added protection bonus and damage from the building's second floor height advantage, Pioneers generally don't win against sections at range, and they generally never win that sort of engagement.
Oh, contact with the bloody enemy!
Can we blow
But
it
it's just enough for Raid to sort of back off for now. He's going to do a little bit of stutter stepping.
Tommies has been trained.
Some pretty good micro in and out of this building, a little bit of in and out. Here we go. Grens have finally made it up to the front line so they can sort of take the Pioneers' place, get inside, but looks like the Royal Engineers have gotten to the front line. So they can do some crazy damage on these Grens right now. They can just sort of sit here in green cover and deal a ton of damage. I think the Grens still win this fight, but I think it wouldn't hurt for these Pioneers to come in and support. There we go. Very well done by you, Myron, bro. Some more long-range engagements, green cover to green cover. Really good positioning by all these Grenadiers. We got another round of Royal Engineers pushing in. Oh man, that flamethrower basically seals the deal. Whoever has the first flamethrower wins this fight, and there you go. Ray's got that first flamethrower. Ray's also locked in Polish cavalry, and Myron Bros locked in Luftwaffe battle group. So we'll start to see if these players get a chance to use these battle group abilities to their fullest extent.
Infantry section trained and ready.
These Royal Engineers with the flamethrowers, basically running around with a big stick.
The enemy for past transgressions.
You have no choice but to run away from them. Pretty rough right there. We're gonna have cooked sauerkraut over here. Oh man, these Grens taking a lot of damage.
Jerry's got it in for us. Outside, no question. Now.
Yeah, these Grens are forced to retreat, but looks like we're getting a 4 Gren build out of UMB. Right about now, Ray would be eager to tech, get a Humber.
Platoon command needs diggity. Diggy's there.
You have to really admire the way Ray played those Grens. Ray had the exact same build with 4 Grens. He was able to park them right in front of this building in a big blob and just delete anything that came nearby. It was almost like a bug zapper, you know? It's like pretty nuts. There we go. He's got his Pioneer with the flamethrower. Doing some good damage. But is the flamethrower better than 4 Grenadiers stacked up on top of one another? The answer is, so far, UMB's been able to keep both Pioneer squads alive. This is good. He's been able to, keep up the cap, keep up the aggression. Unfortunately, it seems like he wasn't able to capture these points on the bottom, which are easily overlooked. You know, players really don't prioritize these corner points, but somehow Ray manages to get them in his build order. Humber's coming out pretty quickly too, and no signs of teching up for UMB. I think this is going to be the kiss of death going officers' quarters and 4 Grens, because now, as soon as that Humber comes up on the field, there's no AT. There's no vehicles. There's nothing. So we'll see. Maybe UMB will put some mines down, maybe something, but I think that Humber's going to have a field day as soon as it starts getting on the field.
Withholding reinforcements, Commander. Humber armored car, ready for reconnaissance.
Humber on the car, ready for reconnaissance.
You couldn't hit the broadside of your mum's ass.
We shall reinforce in
The
your
dreaded
absence.
pink Humber has no mercy. No mercy for the defenders of the fatherland.
Contact with the enemy.
As these
We're in
Royal
it now.
Engineers look for a good angle with the flamethrower. Grens have a pretty good line of sight.
Bugger me.
Got some good volley damage, but the flamethrower's range is pretty spectacular.
Taking fire.
Well played by UMB, holding off. Got a looked off company in build, so it looks like we're going to see 221 and LG40 drop as well. This is good. LG40 can handle the Humber. You know, it just needs to micro it pretty well. But if you're playing against Micromaster Ray, you got to really bring your A game.
We found Jerry!
Alright, now we're starting to see a little bit of a tactical formation with these Grens. These buildings are a real pain in the butt. If you're the east side player, you get into these buildings, you can make a living hell for the player who spawns on the left side of this map. Because he can just sort of sit there and deal all sorts of damage. Lucky Faust over here by UMB. Really good shot on the Humber. I think the LG40 is going to get here a little bit too late to make that anything too meaningful, but I commend the effort to get that Faust off.
Infantry training completed.
Ray manages to get off infantry training. Good job on him.
We're under fire. My coming dots.
Jerry's picking us apart!
Chopper's getting ripped up here. Taking losses.
The Polish second are armed and eager, Commander.
Alright, we're starting to see some Polish units rolling into the fight.
Shit in time!
Or will they? We'll see.
Boys are finished!
221 in build. It's a real toss-up if UMB is going to keep the 221 as is or upgrade the Panzerkreuzer. Ooh, big hit from the LG40. Look at that range. Unfortunately, inadvertently gave it that one on the Humber.
Spark up while it's time. Is it load better? Hey, cover!
Gotta be careful, he's gonna get snared by these infantry sections.
Grenade packages are inbound, Commander.
Just kidding, Ray just started to upgrade the grenade package now for his infantry section, so in a moment he'll have to worry about those snares, but for now I guess he can sort of be a little bit aggressive. Pushed up, nice job, gets a good shot. Can he get a second?
Orders complete!
Our victory point is being
No,
overrun.
he can't. Tactical Dren formation is pushing into the center.
Victory point lost.
Humber manages to get the flare off, which is a huge buff to the British infantry in this area, because they can sort of concentrate the extra damage on the Grens.
Fire on us!
Boys are finished!
Gren upgrade for the infantry section, very surprising to see.
Get me! You were good! You fucking orders complete! Infantry taking losses here!
It's just a scratch, alright?
Humber back to full health, ready for another shot. Fortunately, the LG40 just retreated, so this is a pretty bad time for 221 to be all alone, if I'm going to be honest. But at least the 221 is still able to kite the infantry sections. So a little bit of veterancy.
Upgrade, yeah. Nice bit of kit.
Come on then. All done here. Polish Lancer section deploying.
Polish Lancer section has entered the fight.
The walking wounded may rejoin their units. No man is to be left behind.
And it looks like Ray's also picked the Walking Wounded. Be able to pick up the men left on the field, get some extra manpower, get some extra men on the field. Very nice.
Driver!
2-2-1, still doing a pretty good job of laying down the hurt. LG40 unfortunately misses a shot. I like his strategy with the LG40. It's pretty strong compared to the standard Panzer books. Especially because the range and the angle of attack. The LG40 is pretty nasty. Look at that. Boom! Imagine if UMB had 2 of those things. Boom! Dead Humber. But that's a pretty hefty munitions investment, I guess, so we won't see that.
Keep fighting!
Polish reinforcements awaiting deployment.
Big push, big push.
Infantry taking losses here!
Gren's putting a lot of hurt on the infantry sections.
Cover his
Ooh.
position!
Ooh! Almost got the snare off on the 2-2-1.
He's dead!
Rifle grenade forces a retreat. Oh, this LG40 has got to get out of here. Polish units doing some insane damage to these Grans. I don't think these Grans last much longer against the Polish units. At least not like this. Not even in cover.
Taking losses!
So it's gonna be a huge hurt.
They're breaking through us, yeah?
Humber playing pretty dangerously. I guess he saw that UMB had to retreat his LG40, so he's pushing the Humber a little aggressively. There's our Grenblob. Grenblob on the way. At least we finally have this munitions point down here in the south capture. There's probably some free manpower right here for Ray.
Present and accounted
There you
for,
go.
sir.
Okay, a lot of free
Rockets
manpower.
are being distributed to our fighting vehicles. Use caution.
Incoming small-arms fire!
Big miss from the LG40.
Speaker away! Don't eat here!
I would admire the dedication and micro of these players, microing the light vehicles. A lot of kiting going on. Unfortunately, UMB just lost his Pioneers, I just said that. But yeah, this Humber is the natural predator of the 2-2-1. I bet it kills Ray that he hasn't been able to kill this 2-2-1 by now, but you know, UMB's been putting up a really good fight.
Put fire on us!
Oof, big hits from the artillery. I think Ray had an easier time dispatching of Tony Montana, but UMB's been holding it in there.
Operation Panzer Bane
That.
is in effect. Tulip rockets have
Now we've
been
got a quick
upgraded.
whirlwind coming out. Quick is a strong word. Quick is a strong word, but you know this whirlwind is it is needed. You know, there's so many infantry units on the field right now, so having another vehicle that can do damage is going to be great. You know, but it's going to be tough if Ray manages to get tulip rockets on this Humber, because then he'll be really able to deal a little bit of hurt to that whirlwind.
Orders complete! We've got enemy fire! Fuck me! God!
Go, tactical Grens in formation. Good damage, good damage. Unfortunately, the Pioneer that UMB did lose is the one with the flamethrower, so he doesn't have that burst damage against units in buildings or green cover anymore, which in this scenario is going to hurt him a ton. There's no Warble coming in just in time. Nothing to stop the Warble from pushing in. Is he going to get the kill on the Humber? No, he's going to focus the AT gun. This is an incredible push. Incredible push. Look at that. No, if UMB had gotten Ken, he could have probably towed this back home. But instead, he's going to probably camp out here and prevent units from including his AT gun.
Cover his position!
The enemy has our victory.
Here's the LG40. LG40, what are you doing? Get back here, man. Oof. 2-1 dies to the Polish. Surprisingly good range for the Polish units to be able to pick off the 2-2-1. That's going to be a real damper to UMB's big push here.
Victory point belongs to the enemy.
It was pretty smart getting the cutoff over here. He has to pull all the way back. He had a really good advantage there for a second. You know, Ray was knocked off his feet, but there wasn't enough follow through. Now the LG40's in danger. Grens are taking a lot of damage. Will Ray be able to recover? Now we've got 2 Werbles. Yeah, Ray's getting a lot of free manpower with the Polish upgrades. And now at base he's building a Crusader too, so he's gonna try to hope to kill these Werbles.
A strategic point is being overrun.
Very well played by UMB so far, being able to hold off against Ray. Reminding viewers that Ray is probably #1 Company of Heroes player in the world for all factions, so holding up against Ray is no joke. Double Werbles pushing around. Big pushes here, big pushes. Crusader getting a good angle. No AT in sight. I think these Werbles are in some big trouble. First Werble goes down. Second Werble in peril, and that's it. Jeez Louise. Well played by both players. Looks like Ray takes that game against UMB. Alright, unfortunately, that is all I have time for today. Hopefully, maybe Gray Shot can pick up the next game between UMB and Ray, but for now, that's all for me, folks. GG's to all involved. Well played by Ray. Well played by Tony Montana, UMB, Reekley, and everyone else on the bracket. Alex, Stan, and Theodosios. Well played by everyone. Let me just pull up the bracket one last time. All right, folks.